What's up, friends? I can't believe that timing. My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. You can call me whatever you'd like. Welcome to Simulator Sunday. Sim Sunday is here. Q&A. Sim Sunday Q&A. RipSqueak explosion. And what's the fourth thing? Something else. I did get it out of the tree. It was very low in the tree. Yes! Newbie Drone 1102 Mosquito flying. You guys have been bugging me to build one of these garden rippers forever. I have finally built one, and I don't like it, but we're gonna fly it. I think that these are not the right propellers. I think that I need to put this up onto the Mosquito XL frame and run the Gemfan 65mm S biblades here. These biblades are lighter. These 2.5-inch biblades are lighter than these 2-inch biblades. They're going to be a lot more fragile, but in theory, this thing is so lightweight that it won't really make a difference. They're going to be more efficient. They're going to make more power. And I think that's what's lacking on this. I did push the tune a little bit to try to make this thing a little bit better. But like I already had the master multiplier all the way up at 2.0. And this was still like wobbling and bobbling all over the place. So yeah, we're going to fly that live. I'll go into the PID tune live and try to get it in a little bit better shape. I just don't think it has enough thrust. I think these 2-inch bi-blades are amazing. Don't get me wrong. They're super durable. I love them. But I have a funny feeling that on 1S at 19,000 kV, it's just not quite enough. I mean, it's not quite enough for me. Most people would actually love the way that this flies, but I'm a picky bastard, so everything has to have a ton of power and be able to stall upside down and do Matty flips and power loops and stuff like that. And this will actually do all of that, but it won't do it like as crisply and with as much authority as what I'm looking for. But again, I've got very impossibly extremely high standards. And I'm probably asking for a little bit too much. But, you know, I've been flying for a long time, and there's a lot of different options in rigs that you can build that fly amazing. So yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna fly it a little bit more. The one thing that I definitely want to do with this before I swap the frame and go to the 2.5-inch props is I want to get this down to the jungle gym in our little HOA area of the neighborhood here and bounce it off and just really get up in that little jungle gym thing that you guys have seen before and just get dirty, just get filthy with it and see what happens, because there's a chance that this little setup is like a total fucking basher and I can just get disgusting and just offensive in with that jungle gym. And yeah, because these 2-inch props are very strong, like extremely, extremely, extremely strong. This Newbie Drone Mosquito frame is really strong, like needlessly strong. They could have gone with they could have used carbon fiber that's half the thickness of this Mosquito frame, and it would have probably been completely fine. And then this camera and canopy are also extremely strong. So maybe that's what this is. Maybe this is a jungle gym basher, which would be super awesome, right? Because like jungle gyms are this amazing little world of just ridiculous angles and dive gaps and corners and holes, and that's what she said. But every single time that we try to go hard in a jungle gym with like pretty much anything bigger than this, like the quad feels really big. Like the RipSqueaks, they feel like fucking top fuel dragsters around that. I mean, you can do it, but like, man, they have so much power in relation to the size of these little jungle gyms, right, for kids. And the other problem is like when you hit metal with them, yeah, it doesn't go well. So something like this that's like infinitely lightweight, I have high hopes. So we'll see. Maybe that's what I'm missing here. Cats and FPV says, where can we get this mosquito stuff? This is all Newbie Drone stuff. This is a Newbie Drone V1. This is an old AIO of theirs. And then I've got a Happy Model EP2 on it to bring it up to ELRS. Because the Newbie Drone AIOs, you can only get them in like FR Sky or Fly Sky or like the old protocols. I'm pretty sure that they're working on an ELRS AIO, but it's not out yet. And then I've got the Mobula 6 canopy and camera on it because they're sort of my favorites in terms of durability and being decent. You do have to kind of modify the canopy a little bit. You got to get in there with your soldering iron and like, yeah, the front props hit the canopy. So you got to go in there with your soldering iron and like push the front corners of the canopy in. It takes 5 minutes and it's not rocket surgery. And yeah, just be patient and turn the temperature way down to like 300 on your soldering iron and just keep the soldering iron moving. yeah, you might destroy this canopy, but you can get these canopies for like $2 or $3. So that's, if you're gonna build one of these, use my Newbie Drone affiliate link if you don't mind. It's over at CiottiFPV.com. You can get replacement Mobula 6 canopies, and that's what I would recommend. If you're doing this build from scratch, you're gonna have to get the Runcam Nano 3, you're gonna have to get the Mobula 6 canopy, and make sure that when you buy the Mobula 6 canopy, it comes with this little TPU piece. I have to show you this, or else you definitely won't get the right one, because they sell it with and without. So let me take a quick look here. Let's see what that finds. Hey, so there it is. All right, so it's sold out, but this is the piece here that you absolutely need, off on the right. And the canopy, the areas that you're gonna have to melt down are right up here. You're gonna have to use your soldering iron to push this in here, right on the corner. You gotta just push this in, otherwise the 2-inch props won't clear. And then the same thing on the other side. The rear is totally fine. So yeah, this piece holds the camera, and then these screws bolted on in here, and the camera that you want is the Nano 3. There it is, which is also sold out. Hold off on this build though. Hold off on this. I don't really like this for garden ripping. Again, I'm probably asking for too much, but here's the deal. Maggie and I's house here, there's not like a good small section. Like, it's the outside of the house here is kind of big, so like these RipSqueaks are awesome. Like a full-size, full-power 3-inch toothpick is going to be awesome. Something this small doesn't really have a home here. Maybe your house does. Maybe you have a more interesting garden, and this would be perfect for. But yeah, unless the jungle gym thing works out, this doesn't make much sense. So maybe hold off on this build, although it is a really cheap and easy build. These are the Newbie Drone Flow 1102 motors, and they're really cool because they have the JST 1.25 plugs on them, so you can plug it directly in. So it's like an impossibly simple build. This is the fastest build I've ever done. And it flies very decent. I'm just, you know, I'm looking for better than just decent. And we're gonna get there. You guys will see it fly today, and you'll see what I mean. I can fly out in the backyard, and the VRX should pick it up just fine. I can probably go a little bit on the side of the house. I'll open up the garage door probably, so I can fly around in the garage for a second. And yeah, so I'll give you an idea of how this thing flies, and then you can make up your own damn mind. The Mobula 6 canopy and Nano 3 camera, I've found those to be the lightest weight that are super durable. So yeah, the Brandon's Baked Beans is calling out the B-Brain V2 canopy. That is a great canopy as well. It's super sturdy. It's noticeably heavier than this. My big problem with it though is that it's meant for the BI camera, the Newbie Drone BI camera. And compared to this Runcam Nano 3, like, yeah, like I hate to shit on the Newbie Drone camera, but when you compare it to the Nano 3, it's like, oh, that's kind of ridiculous. So, yeah, Runcam Nano 3 is far superior. Although the best thing about the Newbie Drone BI camera is that there are these little TPU camera loops on Thingiverse that will hold an Insta360 Go 2. I can't imagine that this powertrain right here on 1S would do a very good job carrying around the Insta360 Go 2. These tiny lifters here are on 2S, which is just such an improvement in power on these little guys. Regardless of the KV, like these two are actually at pretty much the exact same KV. They're off by 100, which then doubles 2S versus 1S. So this does have more KV than this, but just barely. But the fact that this is on 2S, it just has so much more grunt than this little guy. It's just, you know, you double the voltage and you don't have the resistance, but yeah, it just makes a big difference. The jump from 1S to 2S is huge. Unfortunately, on something like this, the goal was to keep the weight down as low as possible, so I didn't go 2S. They do give you little TPU battery holders to hold two batteries. So and the newbie drone boards do accept 2S, but on 2S, the newbie drone boards don't seem to last all that long. The OG ones, this is the V1 board, and I didn't want to blow up this V1 board. These tiny lifters have the V3 boards that I can just swap out if I blow one of them up. Although they've been fine so far. I haven't flown a ton of batteries through them, but I've flown a bunch, and they've been okay thus far. But typically they blow up after like a bunch of batteries, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100. I don't know the exact number, but couple of good friends of mine, CiottiFPV is the main one that helped me figure that out. He was doing 2S on the newbie drone boards for a while, and yeah, he would only get, I think he said 50 to 100 batteries out of them, but your mileage is going to vary, right? How hard you're flying it. He could have been sitting at full throttle for half the battery for all I know. I'm sure he wasn't, but you know what I'm saying. In the chat, if you want to talk directly to me, all you got to do is type CiottiFPV like these lovely people have been doing here. If you do that, it'll light up an orange, and I'll know that you're talking to me. Otherwise, I'll think that you're talking amongst yourselves. This is my full-time job. If you'd like to see these live streams continue, vote with a couple of dollars. Head on over to CiottiFPV.com. There's a million ways you can support me. Yeah, I literally rely on your guys' support to keep this thing going, because for some reason the cinematic gigs have really dried up. I gotta do more marketing, I guess. But yeah, for the time being, the live streams are my main sort of focus, and I like it that way. I love hanging out with you guys. So Apache Smoke was first. Kevin Sumner was next. Bulldog FPV, Glenn Burnett, Expander, Straight and Ready FPV, Ethan W, A Cable, Imp FPV, Paul McDonald, Katzen FPV, Bulldog FPV, Rick LaBancha, Michael Blade, GJP, Sav FPV, and Leonid. If you want the gangly man to read your name, you got to come into the chat early and say something or other. Apache Smoke tagged me and said, "What's up? How are you doing? Ready for the best stream in the world." His words, not mine. Bulldog says, "What's up?" A Cable says, "I'm here. Hello." Imp FPV says, "Hello." Bulldog FPV says, "Here I sit, broken-hearted, head to shit, but only farted." I haven't heard that one before. It's a good one. Michael Blake says, "Yo, what's up?" C. Bagsy says, "Hello, hello." Morton Upshot says, "Hope everything came out all right." Bozadar says, "Yo, CiottiFPV and fam." Denzel the Terrible says, "Let's do this. Happy Sunday," or Monday for the Australian friends. RJ Rosser says, "Hello. Good to see you here. Good to see you again, brethren." Chomper FPV is in the house. What's up, Chomper? How are you, dude? He says, about to test some new things. What are you testing? PJ says, "Remind the collective to hit the gangly like button for the greatest stream in the world." Thank you, brother. Denzel the Terrible says, "How do you make a RipSqueak explode?" We'll talk about it. You just slam it into concrete hard from 20 feet. Brandon McBean says, "I love my Mosquito. I need more power on the motor. Is going to put 22,000s on them, but mine is 0802 19,000 with 40 millimeter. Curious to see this with 1002 and 2-inch. Yeah, I haven't been paying much attention to these little tiny builds. I don't know what like the hot motor size and KV is, but we'll find out together. I don't know. This setup is going to stay on motors that have these JST 1.2 plugs on them, 1.25 plugs on them. So it's going to be either these Flow 1102s or it's going to be either these Flow 1102 19,000s or the 10,000s, and maybe I'll make it 2S, but I don't want to make it 2S. I don't know. We'll see. I have a funny feeling that this thing in that jungle gym is going to be really fun. So whether it lives on these 2-inch props or the 2.5s, that's the big thing that I'm sort of questioning. What I will say is that this 2.5-inch frame is really thick. So I mean, like, I'm not worried about durability, on this 2.5-inch frame. What I'm worried about is the weight getting up there, because this is going to be significantly heavier. So, I mean, the props will be a little bit lighter, though, which is kind of interesting. And then that's the other problem, right, is these 2.5-inch props, do they become a problem because, yeah, they're a little bit thinner and the weight is going to get up there. So, yeah, I don't know. But, man, would it be cool to have something really durable that flies decent enough to just bomb jungle gyms and just make them into these amazing little, you know, with these, to me, the key to these low power rigs is to find a spot to fly them that's super interesting and super small. That's where they make sense. That's why, like, calling these little guys garden rippers is awesome. I love that name for them. Remy Tim with a $20 super chat. Brother, thank you. Jesus. Where's that comment that he left? He says, what's up, friends? This goes to the 11 mini fun. CiottiFPV, much love. Thank you, brother. Very cool. 104 goes to 124. Look at us go. I heard on Joshua's stream that there is a release date for the Hero 11 mini. It's October 25th, I want to say. 20-something. October 20-something. So, yeah, I'm excited. I don't have the... I don't know, we'll see. I hope to God that they come to Best Buy. If they don't... If they're not going to be sold at Best Buy, I don't know what I'm going to do. Because... Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. C-Bagsy says hello. I think I'm repeating. Yeah, I am. Here we go. Found my place. Apache Smoke says, I fly my glider on the jungle gym and it eats my props like candy. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, you can fly anything around the jungle gym, but, like, when you start bashing into that metal over and over again, like, it gets really annoying really fast to keep walking over and picking it up because the props bent so bad that they won't spin on the arms, and, you know, it just doesn't work. So, yeah, it would be really cool. Now that I live somewhere that has an amazing jungle gym that's, like, you know, literally right down the road, that could be really cool. So we'll see. We'll see if it's realistic. I mean, technically speaking, with how powerful these Tinywhoops are now, I don't know why I don't just do it with these. I should probably bring one of these with me when I go, and I'll do a comparison, ducted versus not ducted. This is super interesting because the ducts are going to slow it down, so it might, you know, this little guy might actually be too fast for the little jungle gym. But what's cool about this is you can rip the jungle gym and then go out and fly around a little bit because it's going to be so much more efficient not having the prop guards. So this is more of a freestyle rig, whereas the Tinywhoop is just more of a only for really, really small, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'll be interested to, I don't know, I kind of wouldn't want a Tinywhoop around that though, because you're just gonna batter the shit out of the frame. Like, I can't, like, I feel like these plastic frames would not survive very long, dinging them into the metal bars of the, but maybe not. I mean, maybe it's no different than me wanging them off the walls and the floor here all Wednesday night. So, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The thing that gives me confidence in this is that these Newbie Drone 1102 flow motors have 1.5 millimeter motor shafts up above the hub. All these Tinywhoop motors have 1 millimeter motor shafts. So yeah, I have hope that this will be extra durable because of that. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm looking forward to finding out, because that jungle gym is really cool. There's like a monkey bar section, but it's like an oval monkey bar section, and I swear to God, it's like they specifically put a dive gap in the middle. Like, it's like they did it on purpose. And then there's a big slidey thing, and there's a little rock climbing wall, and there's just like gaps all over the place. And yeah, I'm optimistic. Bulldog FPV says, wish I could show you my 2-inch playground basher, but it's an Alpha Cub frame from Banggood with 1103 Toka motors on 2S. Let me look up Alpha Cub frame. See if we can take a quick look. Alpha Cub 2-inch toothpick frame on AliExpress. Oh, look at that little guy. Okay. That's a pretty cool little frame. And then what do you have? The Gep RC prop guards on there, I guess? So, I like that. That's a cool looking little fella. Very Babito-esque, although I bet you this was out before that. $10, awesome. 14 grams, different production batches will vary. There you go, AliExpress, cover your ass. We're going to cut this at the cheapest possible place that we can find, so God only knows what it's going to weigh when it gets to your door. I would much rather see the carbon fiber weave going in the 45-degree angle to have the strands be a little bit longer on the arms. That's one of the things that Newbie Drone did on their frame here that I'm really happy with. They got the directionality of the weave correct. So that's kind of a bummer with this, but I guess you could argue that with something this small it doesn't matter, but I would argue right back that everything matters. You know, we're looking to refine this stuff. We don't want this stuff to be just barely good enough. And for all we know, whoever cut this might be using the cheaper carbon fiber where the top and bottom veneer layer is 45 degrees to the actual direction of the weave. I doubt it. It's pretty rare that happens, but it has happened before. Oh, look, they're showing it with a little Insta360 Go 1 on top. That's pretty slick. That's a cool little frame. I'm into that. Could be a little bit better, but yeah, pretty good. Oh, look at that. There's another version of it, a little slightly heavier version of it. Double standoffs in the back. Yeah. Yeah. Brains Baked Beans says, just glue the Nano 3 in that canopy. I guess you could maybe do that. I love the little mount because you can adjust the up tilt, and I don't know how you would even glue it in there because the camera is a little bit too small for you'd have to use a load of hot glue to get that done. I mean, I'm sure you could, but yeah, that little camera mount piece is awesome. The Mobula 6 canopy is really nice. I really like it. Brandon, you're talking about the Newbie Drone B-Brain. I'm sorry, Goober canopy. Jesus. Yeah, you could totally glue the Nano 3 into there. But that canopy is heavier. I like this. I like this Mobula 6 canopy. It's the right weight. And yeah, you have adjustable up tilt. It's just an awesome little canopy. Kevin Sumner dropping the CiottiFPV.com link. Thank you, brother. Over there as well, there's a link to my... man, I'm sleepy. I was up late last night. Jesus. I just looked in OBS. I was like, Jesus, who's this man? Who's this sleepy man? Shirt of the day! I need to move over. Blipshift shirt. If you're into cars, get your ass over onto blipshift.com and sign up for their email blast. It's awesome. And it's the only way that you'll get any of their stuff, because everybody always wants their stuff. Well, no, there is that, but it's also that their shirts are only available for a couple days. Hey, there's an Etsy store with a whole bunch of really fun stickers linked over on CiottiFPV.com. Look at that one. Look how holographic that is. Let me hold the sticker so that you can actually see it. Yeah, treat yourself. Buy yourself some cool stickers or magnets with my logo. If you're into cars, you'll understand this. Hopefully, you should understand this. That is Hoonigan's Kill All Tires font changed to Kill All Carbon, because that's what we do. We kill all the carbon. There's little stickers. There's big stickers. Ooh. There's holographic stickers. There's matte stickers. That's Clam Man. If you don't know who Clam Man is, you're gonna die. There's this cool looking logo. Look at that. There's Nut Grabber stickers. How do you not have a Nut Grabber sticker in your life? There's Micro King stickers. There's not any more collective stickers, unfortunately. But you gotta have exclusive stuff, right? Like, you gotta have stuff that goes out of stock and stays out of stock forever. That's the way it works. That's the way to run a business, isn't it? How the hell would I know? Yeah, treat yourself. There's also a bunch of M2 hardware over there. And I'm directly mailing sticker packs out for $10 over on PayPal. Help me keep the boat afloat here. Get yourself a Micro King window cling. This will stick on the inside or the outside of a window with no adhesive, and you can peel it off and restick it. And then get yourself the new logo in both upside down and right side up. The upside down one is a sticker. The right side up one is a magnet. CiottiFPV.com has a PayPal link. Make sure to put your address in the note, and I'll send you stickers. I've got the goddamn stamps already on them, so I'll send them out right away. And then you'll have stickers within 3 to 5 business days. And maybe I'll throw an extra one in there. I might. There's also a Fiverr page linked over on my website where you can work directly with me one-on-one. The crowd favorite is build planning. We spend a half an hour, whatever you want, talking about what your goals are for your build. Do you want to build a freestyle rig, a cinematic rig? What's your payload? What camera do you want to carry? How durable do you want it to be? Who are your favorite pilots? What do you crash into? Where do you crash into it? How hard do you crash into it? I have a whole big list of questions that I ask you that allows me to like dial in on the exact build that would benefit you most. This way, you stop wasting your time and money just buying every single new thing that comes out because the hype train is so strong, and then you're disappointed by it, and it sits on the shelf, and eventually you get pissed off and throw it into the goddamn river. Or maybe that's just me. Yeah. Let me help you build a rig that's going to work properly, because I've been doing that for 6 years, and I've learned a thing or two. There's some other stuff going on over there as well. Training, one-on-one flight training through Velocidrone or Liftoff. And there's some other stuff. There's also a bunch of affiliate links. Next time you're buying something FPV related, think about your content creator buddies and click an affiliate link before you check out. It's free money, and we use it to keep food on the table so that we can keep doing what we're doing. Leonid says, hello, mate. Hopefully I pronounced that right. I'm sure I didn't. Apache Smoke says, I want to do a shootout. Jeff Zotek Grabowski helped me with shipping the Weebly 0702 motors to Holland for a great price. Nice. Without paying like $75 for shipping. Very cool, Apache. I love that. Yeah, if you want high KV 0702s right now, Weebly FPV is the spot. They've got the Gore 0702 28,500 kV motors, which are phenomenal. I tested them a Whoop Wednesday or two ago against the Tinywhoop.com, currently sold out 0702 30,000s, and I couldn't tell a difference. The KVs on the tiny little motors tend to be kind of all over the place, so it would not surprise me if those two motors were pretty much the exact same thing, including the KV. Maybe they're not, but man, they felt awful similar. The long and short of it is, I was totally happy with both motor. They both have plenty of KV for bi-blades, where you have something that's just an absolute fucking rocket ship, as long as you keep the build relatively light. My favorite Tinywhoop build at the moment is very, very, very simple. It's a Mobula 6 ELRS, and then you swap it over into a Beta FPV Meteor 65 frame. You swap it over to BT 2.0. This is the Tinywhoop.com BT 2.0 connector that's like pre 180 degrees, which is pretty awesome. And then you do the high KV 0702s, either the Tinywhoop 0702 30,000s that'll be back in stock at some point here, or the Weebleed 0702 28,500s that are in stock right now. And that's it. I mean, if you want better video quality, you can do a little singularity antenna, or better yet, the Tinywhoop.com small antenna, SMOL, and it fits right under the canopy. So you end up with the antenna being completely protected, and it's just the cleanest, simplest little build ever. And you can check out the last like 20 or so Whoop Wednesdays for me ripping these things around the house, screaming my fucking head off, just waxing lyrical about why the hell we fly anything other than Tinywhoops. It's really that good. It's just super, super, super impressive and fun, and just, yeah, will always be legal. Tinywhoops will always be legal. Jesse Perkins and I talked for like an hour and a half the other day, and yeah, like multiple times, either one of us would just be like, why don't we just fly these? Yeah, it's just wild. And with these new high KV brushless motors, you can do some really, really fun stuff. And like, yeah, get on the train, yo. You're going to love it. Four Little Pigs says, just going for a quick rip before work. Very cool. It's a good way to start the work day. Chomper FPV says, check your PayPal. Oh, shit. If you don't want YouTube to take 30%, you can always head over to CiottiFPV.com, and there's a PayPal button. And then do what Chomper did. Just tag me and say, yo, check your PayPal. Chomper FPV with a $20 super chat. He says, spend it where you like. Thanks for streaming, homie. Thank you so much, Chomper. Very, very cool of you. I'm super lucky to have such a group of amazing people that support me. So that I can continue to do this. It ain't easy, I gotta be honest. It's you know, any freelance stuff is very like, yeah, you end up working more than 8 hours a day, but you're working on something that you love, so you keep telling yourself over and over again that it's worth it. It is worth it for some people. It's hard. Yeah, for some people it just doesn't work, and I totally get that. Me, at a different point in my life, it wouldn't have worked, for sure. But I'm very lucky in the things that are going on in my life right now to be able to do this, and I have you guys to thank for that, so thank you. You guys are super awesome. Brandon's Baked Bean says, not the Goober, B-Brain V2 canopy. Ah, okay, yeah, that works too. That canopy is, I think, the same weight as the Goober canopy. I don't know. I'm a huge fan of this super simple Mobula setup. What is cool about the camera that Brandon's Baked Beans is talking about is you can adjust the up tilt as long as you run a front screw that's long enough, and then you just use the front screw to adjust the up tilt on it. The Mobula 6 canopy, you just reach in and move the camera up and down. So it's super, super, super simple. And I've got this same canopy on like most of these Tinywhoops. So this is my preferred canopy, but yeah, the non-Goober Newbie Drone canopy, it's the old toothpick canopy that you've seen a million times. It's boxy, and that'd be a great choice as well. Yeah, can't go wrong with either one. Paul McDonald says, I got my Kill All Carbon sticker on the front of my goggles. It gets a lot of laughs. Nice, Paul. I love that, man. Leonid says, recommendation for ready to fly Tinywhoop with Crossfire. I don't think there is one. I don't think that TBS has allowed anyone to put Crossfire into an AIO yet. There's not many people watching. I think that Newbie Drone, notice I said think, I think that Newbie Drone was working on that for a while, but that was a long time ago that I heard that from them. So I don't know if that fell through or what the deal is, but I don't know of any... well, I don't know of any Tinywhoops where Crossfire is on the AIO. And realistically, like, that's what you want now. The difference in weight and thus flight performance from having a Tinywhoop AIO that has both the VTX and the receiver on it is unquestionable. Tinywhoops that run external VTXs or external receivers are just too heavy. I've been down that road. I've tried my ass off to get that to work, and it's just it gains too much weight, and they're also fragile. Like, that's just not I mean, I pound the shit out of Tinywhoop, so if you want to crash them hard, it's fragile. But if you fly like a sane human being, it's probably fine. But yeah, I really, really, really recommend only buying Tinywhoops where the AIO has everything on board. Those are the ones that fly the best. Unfortunately, you've only got two options there. Newbie Drone with the Acro B, and you're going to be stuck to FreeSky, which to be honest, is kind of fine. You're going to be flying in your house, so the range is not an issue. And yeah, you're going to sacrifice a little bit of latency, but it's a Tinywhoop, right? Like, it's low risk. It's if the latency causes you to crash, then Up South FPV says Mobula 7 comes with Crossfire. It's got to be an external receiver, though. I don't, right? Do you know? Does anybody know if the Crossfire Mobula 7 has Crossfire built into the board? So yeah, your two options are basically Newbie Drone Acro B and the Mobula stuff. Mobula 6 ELRS, the Diamond, although I don't really like the Diamond board. So yeah, there you go. ELRS is a pretty cheap thing. The modules are pretty cheap, and it's a really ideal link for kind of inside the house, in my opinion. So yeah, but they do make the Mobula 6, the Mobula 7 in FreeSky. So yeah, bunch of different options, but Leonid, yeah, having Crossfire on a Tinywhoop is, unless there's one that I don't know of with an internal, or Epsilon says it's external. Yeah, it's external. So yeah, having Crossfire on a Tinywhoop is going to be a significant weight penalty, and they just fly so good when they're really lightweight. So yeah, I would try to get yourself either an Express LRS module, or hopefully you've got a FreeSky radio, and then you can just get a FreeSky Tinywhoop and benefit from a much better performing rig that, yeah, you can't go 13 miles out with, but it would take like 15 batteries to go that far with a Tinywhoop anyway. So it ain't going to happen regardless. Leonid says, have Mambo. Mambo, I guess that's one of the transmitters that's only Crossfire. I've not been paying attention to transmitters. I mean, in theory, it should have an accessory bay. Yeah, so it has an accessory bay in the back, so you can get an Express LRS module for it. They don't cost much. And then you'll have the best of both worlds, right? Like, TBS Tracer sucks balls. Like, it's no good. It is not the 2.4 link that you want. I'm being pretty hard on it. It's not that bad, but it's absolutely, unquestionably the worst of the 2.4, of the newer 2.4 links. FreeSky is technically worse than Tracer, but FreeSky's been around for 50 years. Tracer is brand new. It's kind of inexcusable that it's so bad. But the Mambo, I think, also has Crossfire, which is why you're interested in that. Which is built-in Crossfire. Yeah, so the Mambo is good because it has Crossfire in it. And then you can pop an Express LRS module in the back, which is the best, like very obviously the best of the 2.4 links. And then you can get the Mobula 6 ELRS, and it's going to be awesome. You're going to love it. And yeah, if you ever want to build a rig that is more focused on latency than range, you'll have Express LRS, which outperforms Tracer like grossly. So yeah, that's going to be your best bet. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but the flight performance of the rig is going to be better, and you're going to have a much better 2.4 option for down the road if you decide to build something that's not on Crossfire. So yeah, a little bit more expensive, but you'll have a much better performing setup in the end. So I absolutely hate to have to recommend options that are like, in this case, like grossly more expensive, right? Like, this is an extra $100. Like, that's a lot. That's a tough pill to swallow. But at the very least, right, you'll have a little bit extra performance. So go that route. You're certainly welcome, Leonid. Let's talk about the 2.5-inch RipSqueak over here. So in my never-ending quest to figure out... Okay, so the beginning of the live stream, the footage that I played you guys at the beginning of the live stream was the 3-inch RipSqueak with the 1504 Zing motors and Gemfan 3052 propellers, 3052 propellers. This combo is rad. I mean, like that was a 5-inch spot that we were flying yesterday, me and a couple of the local Atlanta fellas, and this thing held its own, which is just kind of wild, but at the same time, this was able to fly smaller and kind of shrink down. And I fly this in front of the house, and nobody calls the cops or, comes to my door with torches and pitchforks. So, yeah, this was the star of the show yesterday. But I also flew a whole bunch of batteries on this 2.5-inch version of the RipSqueak. And I was not impressed. I got all hot to trot on the 2.5-inch RipSqueak last week or the week before, flying it in front of the house here, like trying to keep the noise level down and flying it like very small in the bushes and stuff. I think a big part of that was just that I hadn't flown 2.5-inch in a while, and it was just like different and kind of interesting. So here's all right. So the other day, I was flying it on the 3-inch arms, and I slammed into something and the 3-inch arm exploded. And I thought, all right, if I'm going to be flying this on 2.5-inch props to really give it the best chance of like kind of blowing me away, I need to get the 2.5-inch arms on here. So I had a set that were set aside for another build. So I grabbed them and I threw them on here. And the big thing that I wanted to figure out is how durable is it? Because the 2.5-inch arms are only 2.5 millimeters thick. The 3-inch arms come in both variations. You can get the 3-inch arms in 2.5 millimeters thick, and that's what I broke previously on this rig. On the rig that I just showed you with the 1504s, that has 3-inch arms that are actually 3.2 millimeters thick. So there are some options there. These 2.5-inch arms are a little bit shorter, and that's going to make them stronger. So I was hoping that these would be strong enough, and to be honest, these might be strong enough. The hit that it took to break this arm was really hard, and if the Logitech decides to focus, you'll get to see the dig that it left in the arm end, which is pretty significant. This was a hard hit. So I'm not super mad at this arm for breaking. This arm breaking may very well have saved this motor. I had slammed this into the concrete 3 or 4 times pretty hard before this happened. So I'm not going to say that these 2.5-inch arms are weak, but I would like for it to have survived. You know what I mean? But more testing is sort of needed, to be really honest. Luckily, I've got 2 full sets of these 2.5-inch arms on order from BQE. Unfortunately, this BQE RipSqueak frame is not currently available, so I'm only really talking right now to the people that already have this frame. Although all of this is totally relevant to like any size rig, right? Like this is an exercise in finding a frame and a setup that is durable enough for you, the way that you crash and the frequency that you crash. The other thing, here's the other thing that I want to talk about that again applies to everybody that's building micros is the powertrain and the amount of power that this thing has and yada 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 yada. So this is now on this is as light as it's gonna be. It's on the shortest arms possible for the 2.5-inch props. And when I put these arms on, the Axis 1404 motors that were on it, the leads were a little bit too long. So I had a set of my old school RCX 1304 5000s sitting around that had really short leads on them. This is the motor, believe it or not, that I was flying at Quad Camp Atlanta 5 years ago when I did the whole Matty Flip power loop thing that made everybody lose their minds. This is an old ass motor that's actually discontinued. What's cool about this motor, though, is that it's 5,000 kV. It's higher kV than most of these small motors. And on these 2.5-inch props, what I've noticed is a lack of power, which I think is a lack of RPM. I refuse to go up to 5S. That's just ridiculous. It looks like this motor might be cooked, though. The windings on this motor are very dark. They might just be dirty, but maybe this motor is shot. I think this rig actually, I think this is the only of the RipSqueaks that has black box. So before I take these motors off, I'm going to do a black box log and make sure that like this motor isn't dragging the whole system down. Because I was not impressed by the amount of power that this thing had, to the point where, like, I'm not going to keep... These are not going to be the motors. And if these motors are not performing well, then it's one thing. But if I black box this, when the arms come and I replace this arm, and I put this thing up in the air, if black box shows that most of the motors at full stank are 85%, 90%, then yeah, this is not a combo that has enough power for what I want from these guys. That spot was a little bit bigger yesterday, though. I don't know. Maybe this could be just the specifically only fly it in front of the house build, but I try to have as few different setups as possible, so I don't know. But yeah, what I can say is that on these 5,000 kV 1304s, I was not impressed by the amount of power that this thing had. I flew it first on the Emax Rush 2.5-inch props, which I love those propellers. They're extremely durable, and they're just a very efficient propeller. But they're a low pitch. They're like a 2.4 pitch. And then I moved it over to these Gemfan 2540s, which are a 40 pitch. And it was definitely better on these propellers, but it still didn't make quite enough power. Here's the thing that worries me the most, though, is what I noticed is that it really it kept catching me out when I would come off the throttle and let it fall at 0 throttle. And what I mean by catching me out is like it would be closer to the ground earlier than I expected. And what that means is it's falling out of the sky a little bit too quickly, as in the propellers are not big enough for the all-up weight of the rig. This build is not really going to get any lighter. I could technically take some of this TPU off to save a couple of grams, but I don't think this is a couple of grams that I need to save with this rig. I think I need to save like 10 or 15 grams, and that just ain't going to happen. If I were to do that, here's the other problem. If I were to do that, it would take away from the horizontal throw of this rig. And that's kind of the other issue that I'm having with this. So I'm not giving up on it quite yet. I am going to spend some more time. Sorry, guys. I am going to spend some more time with this thing in smaller spaces, like the Jungle Gym. Maybe this is the big, heavy, fat 4K Jungle Gym flyer rig. Probably not, because this arm broke. It was, I don't know, it fell from pretty high. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this. I don't know. The guys that I was flying with, after I crashed this a couple times, were like, yo, that's really durable. So like I I did put some punishment into it, and it did handle it pretty damn well. And yeah, maybe I was just flying a spot that was way too big for this, but I don't know. This is what I'm kind of going through. I'm gonna leave these motors on it for the time being. At some point, these Axis motors are gonna go back on it. I really wish that there was a 1404 in a 5000 kV. These Axis 1404s are the best of the 1404s that I've found, and they are 4500 kV, which is pretty damn good, but I just don't think that is quite enough kV for these 2.5-inch propellers. Don't quote me on that yet, though, because I made a bunch of changes to this when I went to these 1304s, and I was flying it in a much bigger spot. So what I really need to do is get when the BQE order comes in, get the replacement arm on, get it up in the air on these 1304s, check the black box, make sure that this motor is not a problem, and then fly a bunch of batteries out in front of the house in a smaller, more technical space, bring it inside, swap the motors out, and then put it right back up in the air. And that's how I'll really be able to determine, because this is a super interesting comparison. This is a bigger stator volume motor, 1404 versus 1304, but significantly less kV. And these 2.5-inch propellers they're very different than 3-inch propellers. This 4500 kV on a 3-inch propeller rips. On these smaller propellers, I just don't know. I haven't back-to-backed it quite yet. But yeah, we'll be doing that soon. I haven't seen a shipping notification from BQE yet, but hopefully that'll come through like tomorrow. And get those arms on the way here. And yeah, do a little bit of 2.5-inch prop myth busting. So that was the RipSqueak explosion. I don't know if that explosion got caught on the. I don't know if I lost the recording with that crash on it, but it will be on this memory card. And yeah, we can take a look at. So at the beginning of the stream, you got to see the 3-inch rig, big power, big gnarly pitchy propellers. Now we're gonna take a look at the 2.5-inch rig. You should be able to see a difference. I'll back this up with the 3-inch flight footage in case you weren't here at the beginning of the stream. So yeah, hold on, getting caught up on chat real quick. Kevin Sumner says, I put my last 2 RipSqueak 3-inch arms on last night. If BQE doesn't come back, do you have ideas for other options? Unfortunately not, Kevin. I don't know of any other lightweight 3-inch frames like this. Everybody has gone to the double 20x20 setups on the 3-inch frames, and that makes the frame a lot heavier and less rigid, and yeah, but mainly a lot heavier. So the RipSqueak arms are still available. Some of them are. Hold on. Are the 3-inch arms not available anymore? I have a ton of not a ton, but I have like 5 or 6 extra 3-inch RipSqueak arms. So I'm not hard up for them at the moment. And when I went on here, I was only looking for the 2.5-inch arms. So yeah, the 2.5-inch arms are in stock. Oh no, are all of the oh shit, all the 3-inch arms are out of stock. Jesus. And I can't really recommend the 2.5-inch setup quite yet. In the notes of my order, I told Bill to message me on Facebook. I've messaged him a bunch of times and I haven't heard back from him. I know he had some life shit going on. So hopefully everything's okay. Hopefully he'll message me and I can ask him like what the deal is. Yeah, I don't know. If I can't get in touch with Bill soon, that'll be a that'll be a kick in the ass to get my 3-inch frame going. And if you guys feel free to bug me about my frame, if you're dying to build something like this, yeah, continue to bug me, and that'll be my motivation to kind of keep going. Unfortunately, I need to ask Ryan to make some pretty serious modifications to my frame, so that it'll properly fit the RunCam hybrid up front, because that's really what it's meant for. So yeah, it's not going to be something that happens fast, but I mean, I can certainly throw a quick build together on the prototype frames that he sent me already, start smashing them to make sure that the arm mounting is strong and is going to work and stuff like that. And then I can probably browbeat Ryan into making the changes to the front end of the frame sooner than later, and then have him cut. Maybe even forego the if this frame crashes okay and the base plate doesn't shatter in a weird spot and the arms are strong and all that kind of stuff, the modification to the front of the frame should not really affect the durability of the rig. So maybe at that point we just have them cut. Maybe at that point I just pony up the dough, send the files to CNC Madness, and have them knock a bunch out. That won't be the final version of the frame, but we've been talking here about, and a bunch of you guys are interested in helping me prototype test it, and you're willing to pay for the prototype frame. So yeah, I would sell them like pretty much at cost plus shipping, and then we could all prototype test it. And if we find that, yeah, the front end is having issues, welcome to prototype testing frames. But we can then fix that, and or anything else that you guys find to be a problem with the frame, and then we do like a legit run of the frame at not CNC Madness. CNC Madness is the easy place to have carbon fiber frames cut, but their quality is arguably the worst of the frame manufacturers. The quality is still okay, but there are other places that do a better job for sure, for not a lot of extra money. So yeah, the final version of the frame will not be cut at CNC Madness. I've myself and other people that I've spoken with have not been happy with their results for the final version of your frame. It's kind of nice for your prototype frame because their carbon, namely, being slightly lower quality, means it's a little bit more fragile, and then that's going to show you the failure points a little bit easier, so that you can fix those in the CAD file, and then that'll make it stronger in that spot, and then you have it cut from a better quality carbon, and you have something that's hopefully more durable than it needs to be. So yeah, in my opinion, CNC Madness is the best place to have prototype frames cut because they're the worst. And because you'll find the weak spots. 661 says, is your 2.5-inch RipSqueak 3S or 4S? 4S on everything. None of these motors that we have are high enough KV. So 3S would make that situation drastically worse. Realistically, what we would want is 5S on these things, but the 5S batteries are a little too heavy. The lightest weight 5S battery is a 550 mAh, and that's just way too heavy for all these guys. So, and it's going to put a lot more stress than is needed on the electronics and blah 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 blah. 4S is the way to go. Michael Blade says, quick question: why would only one motor get really hot and the other three are normal? It's a T-motor 1507. Either you've got screws into the windings, or that motor is failing. The bearings are failing. Yeah, you got to just change that motor out. You can try to just swap the bell out, but I doubt that it's the bell. I doubt that it's the stator. The easy button is just to swap the motor out and just be done with it. There's almost no chance that the ESC is causing that problem. Who that is?
Maggie.
What you doing?
I'm going to use the blower.
Maggie's going to go blow things. Leaves, you scumbags, leaves.
Aaron Miller.
It wasn't me, it was them.
Why?
It was them. Get on your phone, get in chat, and yell at them. It wasn't me. God damn.
Somebody's a little presumptuous. I mean, you're not wrong.
I hope you guys saw. I'm glad I was talking over that bit. I'm not going to tell you what you said. 661 says, I'm going to guess that the battery you're using on the Squeak 2.5 is too heavy. Thanks for reminding me of that, 661. I completely forgot to talk about that. The battery that I have on here is one of the lightest of the 4S batteries that fly decent. I was flying this on 4S 450s and 4S 500s. The 4S 500s are what you want on something like this. And I think Bob is the only one that sells them on FPV Cycle. I could totally be wrong about that, but I know Bob had the 4S 500s made. Like, he asked GNB to make the 4S 500s, and they're brilliant. They're an amazing battery. What I've found is anything below 450 milliamps, the performance of the battery kind of goes to hell. So yeah, 450 is as low as I'll go, but these 500s weigh what the 450s do. And yeah, let's pull up the flight footage, because I actually want to take a look at the runtime. I think on the 4S 500s, the runtime is like 3 minutes. So that's kind of the other thing, right? Is like that's to me the right amount of runtime. I wouldn't want to dip below that sort of runtime. So this should be the battery where the crash happened, and it looks like I just have the first 3 seconds of it. So it's looking like I don't have the footage of the crash. That's kind of a shame. Let's see what I do have though. Why are all these? Did it only record 30 seconds all day? Please say no. There we go, 1.29 gigs. Look, I was flying with audio. Isn't that weird? Yeah, it looks like I don't have the file where the crash was. Look at this nerd. I was trying out these, I forgot that these Ishin Nanos have, the Nano V2s have little microphones built into them. And I wanted to test out this set of goggle headphones that I had made a while ago and forgot to use. So here it is. Here's the BQE 2.5 inch. Look how slow it is. See that, like, right there? See that, like, that cruising speed is just really, really slow. Sure, I could push more up tilt into it, but then, you know, this is 30 degrees of up tilt, and changing up tilt really, really negatively affects. See, look at that. Look how nose down I had to go to generate some velocity. And you know what I'm noticing on these throttle pumps here is that it is having an issue. Ready? Look at it. There's an arm drop. You can tell right up here. Ready? See how the horizon's moving around? That could very well be that right front motor being a little bit cooked. So yeah, I gotta do some black box logging with this thing once the replacement arms come in. Yeah, you can see it there as well. So yeah, the cruising speed thing is definitely an issue for bigger spots like this. Although, I mean, this spot's not that big. Like, this is pretty similar to, like, the front of your house, right? Like, a couple of trees, a couple of parking spots. I don't know. No, this is definitely bigger than the front of your house. This is like 20 parking spots. The front of your house is not going to hold 20 cars, more than likely. So yeah, this is a little bit of a bigger spot than the front of your house, but this was not the rig for this spot. Absolutely not. And the 3-inch version of this rig was right at home in this spot. And that, like, versatility is pretty cool. Totally flyable at this spot, as you can see, but it was hard to get any flow because, like, the trees and just the stuff that you wanted to get close to was too far away for the cruising speed. You know, like, it's just taking too long to get over here against the wall or in between these tree trunks. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. See, like, every time I wanted to get the thing moving, I would have to completely bury the horizon line. There's some throttle blips to with that arm dropping. Luckily, this rig has black box. Maybe that right front motor is just dying. Although, even if that right front motor is not dying, that's not going to help with this cruise speed. The cruise speed is pretty closely related to prop size and thrust and all up weight. when you've got less all-up weight, your cruising speed is going to be lower because it has to spend less downward thrust to keep the rig in the air. So, yeah, let's see if we can get one more battery here. Here we go. What the... Stop it. Play this file. Play this file, computer. Come on. There we go. Alright, so here you go. So this should be like a full battery with this rig. Yeah, I'm not... I was not impressed. And really, the things that kept killing me were... we just talked about the cruise speed. The lack of power to generate upward momentum. Which that could be a problem with the motor, in fairness. That could absolutely be a problem with the motor. When I was off throttle, it would drop out of the sky a little bit quicker than I wanted. That's a prop size to all-up weight problem. Too small of a propeller, too small of a parachute for the all-up weight. The solution to that is to reduce the weight of the rig, but then that would make the next situation worse, which is the amount of momentum it has to throw over trees. Look at that. Like, see that off-throttle throw that I just did? Where's the fucking mouse pointer? There it is. That off-throttle throw, it didn't go anywhere. Look, it goes like 5 parking spots. Ready? Full throttle, throw. Oh, God, what? Like, it just, it doesn't have the weight to kind of carry. So, yeah, I'm losing... Look at that. Look how nose down it is, and it's not even going that fast. Right? Like, it looks like it's going a little bit fast because I'm flying like an inch off the ground. But if you look at, like, the parking spots, it's not really covering many parking spots. I have a funny feeling this is why I went to 3-inch way back when. I know that this is why I went to 3-inch way back when. But, yeah. If you like the slower cruising, though, here you go. And the 2.5-inch arms are still available from BQE. All of this applies to any 3-inch, 2.5-inch frame that you're trying to compare this to. Yes, this is all RipSqueak stuff. No, we don't have any really good RipSqueak-esque 3-inch, 2.5-inch frame options that I know of. There probably is, I just don't know of them. But, yeah. So this is still a valid conversation for anybody that's kind of into trying to dial micros in to fly the way that they want them to. So yeah, that's the 2.5-inch rig. Now I'm going to go directly to... Here you go. Huge, look at that. Look, huge amount. Listen to this. Listen to the amount of throttle that I had to give this thing just to throw it over these trees. Ready? Look at that. And it didn't even come close to making it. That, like, that's a problem for me. That's yeah. Although, again, maybe it's that motor. Maybe that motor maybe that motor's cooked, and if it had that in that scenario, more power would absolutely have helped. This right here, though, that little slow thing in through the trees, this would have been harder to do with 3-inch props. It would be a little bit bigger, a little bit more power, so less throttle resolution. So this kind of in super technical in close stuff, yeah, this 2.5-inch rig is going to be a little bit better. Look at these leaves just eat me. The leaves just ate me. They ate me. I wanted to fly under all 3 cars, but the leaves were just eating me. They were gobbling me up. All right, so that's the 2.5-inch rig. Wait till you see the difference. So that's 2.5-inch rig, 1303, 5,000 kV motors on 2540 Gemfan propellers. Now we're going to go to a 3-inch rig on 1504 Zing motors with 3052 propellers. Get a load of this, friends. Get a load of this. This is the last battery I flew on the 3-inch rig. I was kind of adjusted to it by now. I was adjusted to the 2.5-inch rig by that point. I flew 4 batteries on the 2.5-inch rig. This is now on like a 900 milliamp battery. This is much heavier. But look at the difference. Same exact camera, same up tilt, same everything. Look at the difference. Look at it covering ground. Look at the difference in covering ground. See how it's just getting in between these trees much more comfortably? And like, look at that power. And the float, look at the float too. I mean, that's, you know, right side up float, but still. There's more. But wait, there's more. Trying to figure out, I was trying to figure out which of these trees didn't have scraggle, so I could play around with them. In the middle of a little line. But yeah, there's I'm really staggered at the difference between these two rigs. I'll just say it. This rig was fun to fly in this spot. The 2.5-inch rig was not. The 2.5-inch rig was annoying to fly in this spot. So take that for what it's worth. You know, this is if the spots you fly are much more technical than these, that statement doesn't really mean much to you. If they're roughly the same as this, then yeah. Keep that in mind. All right, do some things. Me from yesterday. That gap in between the trees and the building was definitely flyable, but man, with analog, it was just blind coming down through there. I just had to line up from the white on the roof, and then just hope for the best. That one was pretty sketchy, spiraling down it. RunCam Hybrid was struggling a little bit because we had a really drastic, like, bright white roof and then a lot of shadows on the front of this building. Not much you can really do about that. Even the Session 5 was not having a great time here. The shadows were just really, really dark. There weren't many clouds in the sky. So the direct sunlight was really lighting up the spots where it was hitting, and then the shadows were very dark. If there were some clouds in the sky, this would have been much better. Or if it was a little bit later in the day, it would have been much better. Jesus, that was close. You guys can see a drastic difference, right? Like, look at this cruising speed. See this cruising speed? I'm getting in between these trees a lot quicker. I did not mean to go down that close to the road. I thought there was another layer. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's power. That's the power that I want from a 3-inch rig, from a micro, because that's the power that a 5-inch rig has. And I'm trying to make them fly like that. That's what we all want, right? Like, 5-inch rigs fly better. They fly with a momentum and a pacing and an authority that works for these parking lot spots like this. Inspect the underside of the 2. Make sure there's no rust. We're good. Come out and land. Maybe not. What am I doing? Just running out the rest of the battery. Oh yeah, let's keep going full throttle. That's a good idea. What could go wrong? So yeah, hopefully that's very obvious, the difference between 2.5 and 3. I don't know, if you can't tell a difference, then maybe you won't notice it. And that's pretty cool, because then you can build whatever. But as you fly more and more and more and more, you'll definitely be able to notice it. Let me give you one more. And then we're going to look at past live streams. I got a little bit behind here. If you're watching, if you don't watch these live streams live, you can still be a part of the stream by leaving a comment, and I will eventually, I try to do it every live stream, but I forget every once in a while. I will eventually read your comment on a stream and answer the question that you had, or at least just give you some love. So we're going to do that here in a second, once we let this play for another minute, because I think I actually was flying half decent at some point in this battery. And you can definitely get in the zone with these 3-inch rigs. Man, I wanted to Matty flip this so bad, just keep that forward pitch going. But like, I'm just so over fixing stuff. I was like, whatever, it's fine. I don't have to do a Matty flip right now. The scraggle has already begun. I'm already, that tree there down the bottom, super scraggly. Not loving that, but better get used to it. It's going to be here for the next 6 months. The scraggly scraggle boys are coming for us. Cruising speed is still, you know, nowhere near what a 5-inch rig is, but it's a lot closer. A lot closer. I could have sworn on one of these last couple of batteries I had a nice little flow in between those trees in the building. Maybe not. Something's getting me. Yeah, maybe not. It was a really tight dive in between those trees in the building, but it was doable. And I had a little run where I got it a bunch of times in a row. This is one of them. Hit it there, but then I got it stuck on this one. I think it was maybe the battery before this, but yeah, there you guys go. Hopefully you can tell the difference. I don't know. With more power, the 2.5-inch setup would have definitely been a little bit more realistic. So, yeah, I gotta get that in the black box, see what's going on, see if that right front motor is blown up. I'll let you guys know. Let's take a look at a couple of previous live streams. 4 Monday giveaways on October 10th. Apache Smoke Wounded Sniper commented, "What's up, Ciotti? How you doing? Hello, Collective. I'm down and out. Glad I can watch the best stream in the world to get me through the shitty times. Stay safe. Feel better, Apache. That's all there is to it. Just feel better. Someone just tells you to feel better, and then you feel better. That's how it works, right? Sometimes you feel like shit. It's not going to last forever. You just have to put your head down and smash through. I've been there. I've had, in my life, years that have been like that. I've had days that have been like that, and everything in between. You just got to smash through, brother. There's nothing that anybody is going to say to you to make it any easier. Yeah, you just got to smash through. So just keep going, homie. You're doing good. Keep doing what you're doing. Get through it. It will not last forever. It never has lasted forever. Why would it last forever now? Right? So, you got this, homie. ABRC says, regarding USB receiver, consider adding extension to your receiver's antenna instead of a longer USB cable. I replied to this. The dB loss on the SMA extension cables is just horrendous. So yeah, it's you just can't do that. It's super annoying. TBS has an SMA extender with like a magnetic thing for the rooftop of your car. That, I think, is the longest that you can really go before the dB loss gets absolutely astronomical. And it's only like a few feet. It's only maybe like 5 feet. Maybe it's 10 feet. I don't think it's 10 feet. I don't even think it's 5 feet. I think it's like 2 or 3 feet, because it's meant for you to sit in the passenger seat and put the antenna up on the roof of the car, and that's only a couple of feet. So yeah, if you want to get a receiver really far away from your computer, in my case, you got to do it with a big long USB cable, unfortunately. Bozadar, the newest patron, says, "Yo, Ciotti and family, I'm happy to be a patron. Happy to have you, Bozadar." Let's take a look at Whoop Wednesday from October 12th. Stevie says, "Aloha. Couldn't find your stream on Google TV last night. Found a Fat Shark HD0 system quick and easy to get set up, and the results are awesome. Began with the 2FAT Mobula 7 2S HD0, and I'm sold." I'm really digging HD0 as well. This last Whoop Wednesday, we flew around a bunch. I'm digging it for Tinywhoops for sure. Building custom 65 Whoop Light Neutron F411. If they can get the light down another gram or two, come up with a lightweight mid-power 500 milliwatt VTX, that would be insane. Agreed. Oh yeah, I'm buying a fly 3.5-inch HD0 replace analog on my builds going forward. It might for me too. The biggest problem I have right now with HD0 is the price. Good lord. $100 for a VTX and camera that's pretty steep. Image quality blows Whoop VTXs away, and the Big Bird's lack of latency shift, like the DJI's, makes it life easier for us less than highly skilled pilots. By the way, not sure about the BEC splitter power cable included in the HD0 kit, easily overloaded. Yeah, don't use it. Don't use the XT60 to barrel plug thing that's included in the HD0 stuff. There's a whole bunch of reports online of those failing, and that makes your goggles shut off in the middle of you flying, which is scary, unless you're flying a Tinywhoop with it. Fat Pastor says, I have the EX0802 25,000 in my freestyle blood. Flies much better. In that review, I end up on the quest to try Tinywhoop 0802 30,000 to see the difference. Sorry I missed most of the live stream. Maybe it could have helped. Hit me up anytime on Discord. Let's do the sticker thing collective. Good way to help the channel. Yeah, if you guys have your own stickers, what Fat Pastor was talking about on a couple streams ago is over on our Discord, everybody that has stickers of their own, like pilot logo, get together and they all send a bunch of them to me, and then I can do like a sticker pack with them. So yeah, if you have a pilot logo and a bunch of stickers, link up on Discord and we can do something fun with them. J Drone says the Emax Eco 1404s go up to 6,000 kV, but they're fragile. Motor mounts are soft and bend, strip out. Would love some Zing motors in this size and kV. I replied that I've been through that. I did that on the Tiny Trainer. My Tiny Trainer build, when that frame first came out, I went through this and I hunted for higher kV 1404s and I landed on the Ecos, but like every time I crashed, they would break. They were super, super, super fragile, so they're just not realistic. These Access 1404s are stout, but 4,500 kV is just, I think, maybe not quite enough for 2.5 inch. Man, are they decent on 3 inch though. Tri-State Drone Services says, I like the third person setup, too heavy. Same thing Nick Burns said. He added GNB. I added BT 2.0 to mine. What Tri-State is talking about is the HD0 Mobula 6. I've got plans for this in reference to this and Fat Pastor's comment. This coming Whoop Wednesday, we are going to move this so that they ship this with EX0802 19,000 kV motors, which are just way too low of a kV. Even tri-blades are not enough to help these motors out. So this Whoop Wednesday, we're going to be moving this guy over to the EX0802 30,000s that for right now I have on this rig, just really quick as a quick test. So this is super interesting between these two. We're also going to test these two rigs. This is my like regular old awesome love it 0702 30,000 kV rig. This is the exact same rig on 0802 30,000s and the lightweight 0802s, and I have a lighter weight antenna on this rig. So these two guys weigh exactly the same. So this is going to be a really fun little test of 0702 versus 0802 on the Gemfan biblades. What this test is going to show us is, are the 0702s kind of bogging down at this 30,000 kV? The 0802s will probably have a little bit of extra power, but is it enough to kind of make a difference? Is the 0702 making enough power where it's still the right option? That's kind of what I think is the deal. The problem with this build here on the EX0802s is they're fragile. No matter what, this 0702 build is going to be more durable, and for me, that's a really big deal. So this is it for me. But if you don't crash your Tinywhoops a lot, these EX0802s might be the better option for you, and that's what I aim to kind of find out. But as soon as we're done with this test, I'm pulling these motors off of here because I will just break these motors on this Mobula 65 rig, and these motors are going to go onto this HD0 build. On this HD0 build, the battery bay is the lowest point. I do plan on changing this frame at some point, and it's going to get changed to a Meteor 65 frame, at which point I'll probably start destroying the motors. Unless this frame ends up being durable. If this HD0 Mobula frame ends up being somewhat durable, I'll get more of these. I have not had any luck with Happy Model frames in the past. They have broken extremely quick. But yeah, this frame here that the HD0 Mobula 6 comes with on the EX0802s, it will be more durable than the Meteor 65 frames. And maybe it'll be durable enough. I don't know, we'll see. It looks like So this is the Meteor 65 Pro frame. Now, yeah, the motors are going to hit the ground first on this frame. So, yeah, some really interesting testing. This Mobula 0 HD, Mobula 6 HD 0 build is way better than I thought it was going to be, but the motors are just a huge letdown. This 19,000 kV is way too low. So yeah, we absolutely need to change the motors on this. If 661, it's because of the weight of the antennas. The 0702, the 0702 build here has a full singularity antenna with the big heavy plastic cover on it. If I change that to a small antenna, which I have another one of those coming from tinywhoop.com, this would be almost a gram lighter than this EX0802 rig. Not quite a full gram, but yeah, that's the difference. This has just a piece of wire, stupid little antenna, and this has a full-on singularity. So the video quality on this is much better. You guys will see that Wednesday night. That'll be another that'll be another thing that we'll get to look at Wednesday night, is the difference between a singularity antenna and the super lightweight just bare wire antenna. This is actually the antenna from the HD0 Mobula 6. I moved this over to the small antenna to try to get the HD0 system working a little bit better. I'm not impressed by the range of the HD0 Whoop board, but I mean, what can you really expect? The board and camera are 4 grams. That's outrageous. So and yeah, tiny whoops are for flying inside. So I'm not going to bitch and moan about the video quality. That just doesn't seem very fair to me. Because yeah, this HD0 setup is very specifically for tiny whoops. Although there's nothing to stop you from running it on a toothpick, in which case that would be super annoying. That it doesn't have much range. But I don't know. I am asking a lot for it. I'm asking it to go all the way upstairs through wood and carpet and then onto the second floor. But Analog is doing the same, if not maybe a slightly better job at that. I don't know. As good, that's for sure. Apache Smoke. I'm not gonna. You guys can read this yourselves if you want. I don't want to put Apache's business out in the world. And then Jay Drone says the shrimp is on the angle. What? What does that mean? Freestyle Friday, a tale of 2 RipSqueaks, and we'll be caught up here. Compost Pile says special guest Wednesday is going to be sick. Yeah, I'm going to try to have Jesse Perkins from tinywhoop.com on some of these Whoop Wednesday streams. I just have to figure out how to do that in OBS. So yeah, stay tuned for that. That'll be cool. Not this coming Whoop Wednesday, but yeah, at some point here. Mo Blade says, dude, after college I played keyboard for a metal band. We fired our lead guitarist, and his house was practice space. Drummer said, we can play in my apartment. It's cool. It lasted 1 night. Missed playing with a group. Yeah, you can't. I got my drum set up here, and we were talking about how I set it up in my apartment complex at one point in my life, and it was just an instant no-go. Barry Cook says, hey, Ciotti, for me, the attraction of the garden rippers is that I feel like I can fly without bothering other people. Noise and disturbance is just a big concern for me, maybe to a fault. There's very few places around me where there isn't either people or it's private property. 3 inches, 2.5 inches are still too loud in my environment. I feel, especially with the focus on regulating quads, etc., I want to keep under the radar. Garden rippers have decent enough flight characteristics to rip worry-free in the garden. I replied that I'm beginning to think mine just doesn't fly very well, which is why I'm so down on them. So yeah, and this is just absolute first pass for me, right? Like, this is the very first time I've done one of these little guys, so of course it's not going to be absolutely incredible right out of the bat. But yeah, Barry brings up a really good point. Although I don't, I'm very lucky to live in Atlanta, where there's a ton of really awesome spots to fly. If you're in a situation where your fly spots are infested with people, absolutely, these little tiny, super lightweight things are going to be your best bet. I give you guys my perspective, and then you got to do with that what you will. That's kind of on you. The rigs that work best for me are more than likely not going to be the rigs that work best for you. I try to give you guys as many disclaimers as I possibly can without being a dead horse. So yeah, but there's a location and a pilot for every different type of build. It's figuring out which one of those builds is for you, is the deal. And that's why you're probably hanging out here watching. J Drone says, hi, dude. Just want to ask if you have any experience with using the Rennie Glass reinforced nylon M1.4 Whoop motor screws. You know, I have heard about these Rennie screws before, but I didn't really know what it was. Rennie, look at that. Damn it, I wish I'd seen this before I just did that Tinywhoop order. I would have gotten a bunch of these. Obviously, I have no experience with them, but I've seen a couple people mention them, and I've wanted to try them out. So here we go. Jesse has us already covered. Save your build around a 0.5 gram. That's legit. Tinywhoops are only 20-ish grams dry. 0.5 gram is kind of a big deal. It may seem expensive for screws, materials, a result, medical industry. Okay. 50% glass reinforced nylon. Damn it. I'll just have to do another Tinywhoop order. Farts. Oh, wait. No. Hold on. Jesse hasn't shipped my order yet. Let me not show you guys my conversation with him. Although we don't talk about anything bad, but it's just not cool to be putting somebody else's private messages out in the world. Let me shoot him a quick message, and hopefully I'll get him before Facebook. I really need you to burn in hell with this whole like business account bullshit. It's just fucking awful. They keep changing things, and it's come on, you jackasses. Switch to my personal profile. It was so much better a couple weeks ago. There's Jesse. Yo. Rennie screws. Can I do another order and you sneak them in? Or you already package my order? I've been dying to try these, but didn't know where to get them. I can't, man, I went through his whole website, and I don't think I saw them. I must have missed a part of his website. Damn. Regardless of whether or not he can sneak him in this order, if I have to do another order, I will. It might not be like tomorrow. I'll wait until I figure something else out that I need. But yeah, I will have info on the Rennie screws for you at some point here. I betcha on these little Modulus 6 ELRS guys, I betcha those are fine. I'll betcha they work. I betcha they hold up to abuse. We'll find out soon enough. Good Lord. It takes all of about 15 seconds for me to start ramming these Modulus 6s into hard objects when I fly them. All right, let me get caught up on chat here. We're caught up on previous live streams, right? No. One more. Thanks, J Drones, for that comment and calling out the full name of them so that I could actually find them. I've seen people on Facebook with very lightweight Tinywhoop builds, and they say I used Rennie screws, and I've been like, what the like? I never really dug in to try to find them. Hey, by the way, who's getting in on this Flywoo order with me? Don't make me beat you with a shovel. Somebody order some Flywoo stuff with me directly from their website. They've got these V2 1.6-inch quad blades that I want, and they've got these arm LEDs that'll work on 3-inch rigs. These are the only arm LEDs that realistically are going to work on 3-inch rigs. But I don't want to do this order alone because shipping is $10. So somebody get in on this Flywoo order with me. I'll order everything and then I'll just ship it to you. Yeah. Yeah. Who is it? Somebody message me. Somebody buy some Flywoo stuff with me. Mr. Huggy says, with a time code hour 35N, 4 inches, what's the use of it? Well, the way I think of them is that they are the 6 to 7 inch of the Micro World, larger payload battery for a longer flight time. Think of them as much lighter 5-inch freestyle rig that weighs 300 to 400, filling the gap between sub 250, heavier 5 inch grams. Using the likes of the DJI Action 2 or the new Caddx Walnut. What the hell's the Caddx Walnut? Yeah, we talked in depth about this, like what size. Oh, that's interesting. I have seen this. Yeah, what is 4-inch for? Personally, it's not my thing, but yeah, if you've got a camera, what I was mentioning on the stream is that 4-inch from a freestyle perspective is really only going to work if you've got a camera that is between like 40 and 60 grams. It looks like this Caddx Walnut is 60 grams. So yeah, it's on the upper end of that. So this would be, if this is the camera that you're looking to move around, 4-inch is looking like it would be your best bet. The DJI Action is like 68 grams, I think, which is a little north. Most people use 5-inch rigs for those. You can get away with it on a 4-inch rig. With 5-inch, there's an awful lot more options, though. I have a hard time recommending 4-inch over 5-inch, just in general. But yeah, the really good comment there by Mr. Huggy. All right, cool. So we are caught up. Jesse has not responded, but hopefully he gets that message before he packs my order. I would absolutely love that. Caddx Walnut, you get out of here. Live streaming. Here we go. All right, let me get caught up on the chat. I think those are all the housekeeping things that I wanted to cover. I am still selling this Axis box for getting your DJI out of your goggles and into my dreams. You guys know that song? Yeah, if you want to buy an Axis box, let me know. I have one that's for sale. I bought this off of Joshua Bardwell, and then I ended up buying the smart controller, and so I just don't need this anymore. So if you want it, let me know. I don't know a lot about it, if I'm completely honest. What is this? Do you guys know what this is? Who's got a big brain? Let's check out the big brain on Brad for a minute. Who can figure out what this is? Impress me, friends. Impress me with your knowledge. I think I might know what this is, but yeah, who knows what this is? I have a feeling I know what it is, but it's always fun to have that little challenge. What's that? I mean, it's a VTX. It's a VTX, but which VTX is it? Got a little microphone on there. Look, here's what's on the back. Nothing. I think there used to be a sticker there. But yeah, what's that? Who's got the biggest brain in chat that can figure out what that is? There's a clue up in the corner. Up in the top right corner, there's a clue. And that's why I think I know what it is. Who knows? Who got the biggest brain? Who got the biggest dick brain in chat? I'm such a shitbag. Tommy News says, "What's up, collective?" Morton Upshot says, "I've been using the Ishi Nano on your recommendation and bought a few. They were $13 at $25 now. Jesus. Would you go with the TBS Nano 32 for $29? Nope. In my experience, I've had two TBS Nano 32s fail, and even when they were working, they didn't work as well as the Eachine Nanos. I don't know what it is about Eachine, but when they make a video component, a VTX or a VRX, they kill it. I don't get it. I do not understand. But yeah, the TBS Pro 32 or Nano 32 Pro, whatever the hell it's called, has been a complete fail for me twice. And the Ishii Nanos have been incredible. The V1s and the V2s. I haven't tried the V3s yet, but I mean, I can't imagine that they all of a sudden screwed it up. They changed the form factor and yeah. But yeah, there you go. Kevin Sumner says direct link to RS V2 with CiottiFPV's affiliate. Goo. Thank you, Kev. Goo. Goo is an underused word. It's a good one. 661 says my 2.5-inch RipSqueak. I run 3S 550s and 1105 5500 kV motors. I have a friend with a 2.5-inch RipSqueak on 3S 1104 7500, and they are way faster looking than yours. Ratio of all up weight and prop size. Yeah, I mean there are some smaller motors like these 1105s and 1104s that are a high enough kV. I don't find that those motors have enough stator volume to A, stay cool, and B, control the propellers that I want to run it on. For me, even these 1304s were starting to struggle with enough grunt on these tri-blade 2.5-inch props. So yeah, it's for me though, it's not about like just raw power. It's about like flight performance and the response time of the PID loop to be able to just kill all the prop wash. And I fly in a way that puts rigs into pretty nasty, dirty air scenarios pretty often. A lot of the movements that I like to do are really hard on the PID loop. So for me, 1104, 1105 just really wouldn't work. It's just nowhere near the stator volume. But in terms of like outright power, because of the KV that those motors have that 661's talking about, 5500, 7500, in terms of straight line power, yes, those are going to make more just because they have more KV. But the can of the motor is not going to be big enough or wide enough to keep those cool. And yeah, that's a big part of what I'm looking for with rigs. Really good call out though, 661. I love feedback like that. It's super, super, super helpful, and it spawns great conversations. Kevin Sumner says, what's the dry weight on the 2.5-inch RipSqueak? Good question. I think we weighed it the other day, but let's do it again here. So we are looking like, and there's going to be one propeller missing, so let me see what the propellers weigh. 122.3 with no propellers. Are these propellers really a full gram each? 123.4 with one propeller on there. 122.4. Okay, so we're just going to add a gram at the end of this. So dry weight, there are 3 of the 4 propellers. And here come the 8 titanium M2x7 motor screws that come with the Brother Hobby VY 2004s that I've been hoarding. So dry weight minus a little bit of broken carbon is 126.3 for the 2.5-inch RipSqueak, which there's no reason for it to be here because I can't even fix it because I don't have the replacement arm yet. I really didn't want to break it because I don't have an extra 2.5-inch replacement arm, but I break things. Bob Noxious says the 3-inch configuration is better for sure. You guys could see it, right? Cole Powers says anyone who insists on sending it every time probably doesn't have to fix it on the bench later. That's not been my experience, but I mainly talk to like other pro-ish pilots. So yeah, it's one of the things that like if you want to be a pro pilot or whatever, you have to be willing to slam and break and fix over and over and over again. So yeah, and for me it's a little bit skewed. You're probably right with like normal people, Cole. But you know, I try my best to surround myself with the best pilots that I possibly can, and a lot of those are the ones that are doing the, you know, flight edits that are like, oh damn. So, yeah. But for normal pilots, you're probably right, Cole. Michael D says, I came across, although I don't know anybody who doesn't have to fix stuff. I don't know any pilots that break stuff and just throw them away and buy a new bind and fly. I'm sure they exist. I've never run into anybody that has that kind of budget. Michael D says, I came across a crazy 40mm prop frame, Diatone Hey Tina, pretty cool looking, but I think due to the weight of the frame itself, 20 grams, it would not be an option for a tiny lifter. The other problem with the Hey Tina is the sound. Jesus Christ, it is loud. I actually fixed one of those for a buddy of mine a long time ago, and so I got to fly it, and yeah, it's just it's one of the loudest things I've ever heard in my entire life. That's not true, but it is incredibly loud. The tiny lifters are designed to be stealth and chill and quiet. So yeah, the Hey Tina is not. It's loud because of the weight. It's also loud because of the weird ass duct design. They did like these ducts, but then they drilled holes in the side of the ducts, and it just creates a horrendous amount of turbulence, and that just makes a lot of noise and inefficiency. Michael D says the Hey Tina frame is on GetFPV. It is. I do not recommend it though. Mr. Huggy says a passive USB cable has a maximum length of 5 meters in total. Over that, you need to use an active USB cable. Yeah, Mr. Huggy, we talked about this at length on Whoop Wednesday, I think, this week. I haven't figured out what I'm gonna do yet to get this video receiver up into the living room, but I'll figure something out. I'm starting to lean towards getting a 15-foot USB cable, and I think that might just be long enough to go up and then to go back here, and there is another drop here. It's not exactly where I want it, but I think that might be my best option. I put it up there in the other side of the built-ins, and yeah, I don't know. We'll see. For anyone wondering, the number is 16.8 feet. I did a bunch of research. Beyond, they don't make data USB cables that are longer than 16.5 feet. Derpa. Ramdongo says THOUGHS. Those THOSE was what he meant to type. Screws seem awesome. Wonder if they're brittle or help save motors. We're gonna find out soon enough. I doubt that they're brittle, but they might just rip out. So I don't know. We'll see. Rabble Rotorworks says Upstate New York has been on them Rennie for the last 3 seasons. I've heard that. I've heard of a lot of people using these Rennie screws. I just didn't know where to buy them, and I only heard about them recently. So I'm kind of excited. Ramdongo says, tag CiottiFPV Dave 5280 to ask. Dave 5280's question is, beginner FPV builder, which goggles should I buy? In my opinion, used Fat Sharks are what you want. Any new goggles that you're going to buy, as soon as you open the box, they're going to lose half their value. Used Fat Sharks are going to lose like maybe 10% of their value over the next like year or two. So for me, a used pair of Fat Shark HD3s is your best like balance of like a really good goggle, but cheap enough where it's not gonna cost $300, $400, $500. So yeah, look for used Fat Shark HD3s in my opinion, or just any used Fat Sharks to be honest. FPV Exchange is a great spot to look for used FPV gear. Facebook Marketplace, of course, eBay, bunch of different spots for you. Great question, brother. Riot9 says, don't you want to keep that Axis box because it has no DJI logo overlay on the output? Nope. I've figured out that there is a setting buried inside of the smart controller where you can turn off the logo. Shout out to Justin Smash for helping me find that. Man, I looked everywhere in those menus. I can't believe the menu layout on the smart controller is pretty awful. It's pretty convoluted. So I'm kind of not surprised that I didn't see it in there. But yeah, it was there. So PJ says HDLRC Zeus Nano. Yep, that's what it is. It looks weird, because the little ears are broken off of it. That's why I said there's a clue up in the corner. Up in the corner, there's a part of the PCB that's not broken off, which I am actually going to break off right now because I, can't have anything that's not absolutely perfect around these parts. Yep, I had a feeling that's what it was. At first, I looked at it, I was like, is that an Immersion RC Tiny Tramp? But then I kind of kept looking at it. I was like, no, that doesn't have a microphone on it. I used this VTX on a 4-inch rig that I ended up doing a giveaway for, and it was okay. It didn't blow me away, but none of these little nano VTXs are like unbelievable. So yeah, seems to be okay. I don't know. I typically stay away from HDLRC gear though, to be honest with you. I've not had great experience. Morton Upshot says, what? Referencing Big Brain on Brad. Say what one more time. 661 FPV says, not bad. My 2.5-inch RipSqueak is 109 grams dry with no HD recording. Yeah, the Runcam Hybrid is a big ass heavy camera, and it's got an entire extra PCB. I could definitely shave some weight off of this RipSqueak, namely by removing the big piece of TPU in the rear. But I really like having that rear piece of TPU because it allows me to drop the Insta360 Go 2 on the bottom for that really cool third-person view kind of look. And it's a nice spot to zip tie all of my my electronics, the communications package to the receiver and the VTX. So, yeah. And again, the extra weight is what gives it extra mass to throw over the tops of objects, which I kind of like. So it's a real balance. Abraham says, today I learned I'll never get to surround CiottiFPV because he surrounds himself with only the best pilots he can. I surround myself with whoever is willing to fly with me. I feel like people don't like to hang out with me or fly with me. But when I talk shop about like flight dynamics and shit like that, yeah, I try to steal tips and marketing things from other pilots that have much bigger channels than me, and there are lots of them. So yeah, if you want to get better, surround yourself with people that are better than you. Is a really easy sort of life lesson. You can't always, but yeah, take advice from those that are better than you. At the very least, take advice from those that are better than you. So that's basically what I was trying to say there. But I would love to fly with every single one of you guys. Although, to be honest, I don't like flying with people. I much prefer to fly alone. Being like one of the technical guys, when I go out and fly with other people, I tend to get asked a lot of questions, and like I don't get out to fly very often, so like when I go out to fly, I don't want to answer technical questions. I just want to fly, and like I want to, and usually the other thing is like I usually have a bunch of testing that I need to get done, so I kind of need to be like thinking about the testing that I'm doing. When there's a bunch of other people, like it just makes it more difficult to kind of focus on working, and the focus is more on having fun, cracking jokes and shit like that, and I end up like going home being like, shit, I forgot to do all these things I meant to do. Yeah, so I do technically prefer to fly alone, but meeting you guys in person is amazing, so that completely offsets it. But I don't know. Aaron FPV says powered USB hub. I'm trying to not have to do that, but I might have to go that route. We'll see. I'm still messing around with, still trying to figure out how to get this video receiver upstairs. Bulldog FPV says, would it be shady to have 3-inch RipSqueak arms copied and cut if BQE is done for? It's funny that you ask that, Bulldog, because that exact issue just came up on Facebook with Ryan Harrell, and the post got deleted, but basically someone posted, hey, I got a QAV, I got the QAV S, not the Joshua Bardwell edition, and the base plate's breaking, and it's out of stock or something like that. And then Joshua and Ryan commented like, get the Joshua Bardwell base plate. It's 3 millimeters instead of 2 millimeters. It's exactly what you want. It's in stock at GetFPV. Well, some other asshole comes in and says like, yeah, I'll just copy it for you and I'll just cut it. Just message me and I'll copy that base plate and I'll cut it in 3 millimeters for you. And then Ryan replied and he said, hey, you know, with all due respect, like, please don't do that. Like, it's in stock and it's my design. And, like, it's not cool to do that. Ryan was, like, super respectful. If it were me, it would have been a whole different... It would have been, hey, fuckface, I'm going to stab you. Where do you live? I'm on my way. So, and here's where it gets insane. The dude gets pissed off at Ryan, and he comes back like, oh, take me to court. Go ahead, fuck you. Like, just, like, such a douchebag response. And then Ryan came back and I'm like, well, you know, I could legitimately take you to court, like copyright laws or this, that. And then the guy comes back again, like, fuck your copyright laws. You better hurry up and get it patented because I'm going to rip it off just in spite of you. And then Ryan comes back at him and is like, well, I guess you don't understand copyright law or anything else for that matter, which makes sense because you seem to be a piece of shit. And it just got completely out of hand. But it sparked that conversation of, like, where's the line, right? Like, any one of us can buy a frame, literally put it on a photocopy machine, take a picture of it on top of a you know, ruler, and dump it into CAD, and somebody that knows CAD in like a couple minutes can have you know, the 3D file of that frame. And then plenty of people have little tiny CNC cutters, or you send it to the company up in Canada, whose name I can't think of all of a sudden, that I was talking about earlier in the live stream. But yeah, it's an interesting conversation. I mean, in my opinion, if it wasn't not doing it for free, this kid wanted to sell them. This is apparently what he does. He rips off frames and sells pieces of frames for cheaper than what they're sold for on GetFPV, Race Day Quads, Power Drones. The BQE conversation is a little bit different, obviously, because we can't get these frame pieces. So as much as I don't want to take business away from Bill and or rip off his intellectual property, there's a bunch of us that want to fly his stuff and we want to keep his stuff up in the air. And arguably, if he does come back and we've done this to keep his stuff up in the air, it's good for him, right? Like, if we all stop flying RipSqueaks and then he tries to come back, it's going to be a lot harder than if we keep it going. So, you know, I don't think that it's fair for someone to, like, make a bunch of money doing this. CNC Madness, thank you, EBR. So yeah, I mean, if we wanted to rip off, that's what we're doing, right? We're ripping it off. If we want to rip off his frame design and have some cut, I think that it has to be sold at cost, right? I think that's the only real fair thing to kind of do there. It's still kind of wrong, right? Like, keep that, we need to keep that in mind. Like, it's still, like, Bill could get really upset by that, and he is totally within his right to get completely upset by that. But he's not gonna. It's you know, it's not gonna be something that's gonna end up in a lawsuit, I doubt. So yeah, that's a slippery slope there. You know what I mean? Bulldog FPV says, is that a conversation you could have with BQE? I would love to have that conversation with BQE. I've been trying to have that conversation for the past couple of months, but Bill has not gotten back to me. I've messaged him a bunch of times and I haven't heard back, right? And that's the next part of it, right? It's like, we're trying. We're a rip-off Squeak. Next stand. Like, we're trying, right? Like, and I'm not the only one that's reached out to Bill. I haven't heard that anybody has heard back from him. So yeah, I don't know. What'll be interesting is that I put in an order with BQE. a couple of days ago. So it'll be interesting to see if the order ships, and if the note that I left in the order asking for Bill to message me on Facebook or read the messages that I've sent him works. If it does not, I'm okay. I have a bunch of the 3-inch arms in stock. So I'm not going to rush to knock his stuff off because it just feels weird. But if one of you guys wanted to do that, I would talk about it here and I would have this same exact conversation that I just did. And my position is that, as long as you're not making money selling those, as long as the whole point of it is to keep a frame that we love from a company that we love going and alive, I think that's okay. That's just my opinion. Like, you can make the argument that I'm a total asshole for having that opinion, and you would be right. Because it's someone else's intellectual property. But in this gray area that we're in, right? That's a weird one. I will say this. When I run out of the 3-inch arms, you'll want to be a patron. That feels weird. Because then, well, you can join my Patreon for 10 cents a day. That, I don't feel like that's enough money to be like, oh, I'm making money off all these people that need RipSqueak arms, right? Like, realistically, it's going to be one per, like, the people that are into it are probably already patrons. I wouldn't want to do that kind of thing publicly, right? Which is why I would kind of need to do it on my Patreon. And I would message Bill and I would say like, hey, Bill, I've tried to get in touch with you. I have so many people that want your RipSqueak stuff. Here's what I'm about to do. Absolutely any money that I make from this, which will be none, but if somehow I do make some money off of this, I want to send you. It is yours. This is your stuff. Like, I'm getting it cut from CNC Madness. You're getting it cut from someone even better. We won't be able to get the 3.2 millimeter thick carbon. We'll either have to do 3 millimeters or 3.5 millimeters. So it won't be as good as his arms. So, but I will let him know. I will be totally upfront about it and be like, look, I've tried to message you. I got enough people. I myself want to keep flying these frames. This is what I'm going to do. I'm so sorry if this completely pisses you off, but I've tried a bunch of different things. I've tried placing an order, mentioning it in the notes. I've tried this, that, and the other thing. I don't want to let this frame die, and neither do a whole bunch of people on my live streams that bug me almost every live stream. And Bill knows this. Every time the RipSqueak has gone out of stock, I have had a conversation with Bill over the last year. Yo, when those arms going to be back in stock? I got people hollering and yelling for him. So he knows that people on my streams want the RipSqueak stuff. So I have to assume that he would be cool with all of this, but I just don't know, and it's weird, right? But if one of you guys wanted to do that, if one of you guys ripped the RipSqueak off and was gonna have some of these arms cut and sell them for cost, I would kind of love that in a way, because I don't want the frame to die. That's an interesting idea. Dan Dill says, just make different custom third-party components, upgrades. That's actually a much better idea. Here, that's a way better idea. If someone wants to do this, and I have the answer already for you. If someone wants to do this to keep the RipSqueaks alive, and this is what I will do if it comes to this, here's what you need to do. You need to make a more durable arm. The arms always break in this same spot right here. One of the only things I don't like about the RipSqueak is that the arms are not tapered. This arm is needlessly thick right here. So if we're going to do this, in here, the arm needs to be slimmed down a little bit, and then it needs to taper in thickness to the base, and it needs to be thicker here. and that will fix these arms from breaking in this spot every single time. We don't want to do it drastically. We want it to be subtle. Ryan Harrell knows this, which is why he designs arms the way that he does. And this is the 3-inch frame that he's done for me. And you can see it's subtle. It's a subtle taper, but if you look at the carbon fiber weave, you can see the exact taper that's going on. Hold on, let me get I'm going to move the light around a little bit. There we go. All right, so take a look here. Take a look how the weave is perfectly lined up on this side of the arm. God damn it. Come on. Well, you're just going to have to take my word for it, but it's tapered. It's a little bit thinner here towards the end of the arm and a little bit thicker down here. So, yeah, why did I do that? So that's, yes, that's the answer. That is the answer for sure. Because what we're doing is we're fixing a problem. I mean, it would be a little bit weird if you could still get the RipSqueak arms, but we can't. And that, coupled with the fact that it would legitimately be an upgrade, and it would be the only like intellectual property rights we would be stepping on is the bolt spacing, the bolt hole spacing, right? We would be like ripping off his bolt hole spacing, but it's an upgraded arm. Ooh. And devil horns on the end of the arms. Who's going to do this? Somebody should do this. When I run out of 3-inch arms, I'll do it. But yeah, devil horns on the end of the arms like that. That's the if you run the TPU on the ends of the RipSqueak arms, they are thick enough to protect the motors pretty well. See, that amount of motor protection is actually pretty good there. But without the TPU, the motor protection is not that great. So these would need to be bumped out. Not need to, but these should be bumped out a little bit. And then it's a completely different arm. Then it's truly an upgrade. So yeah, that's the answer. That's the answer for sure. For sure. And the arms would need to be called Rip-Off Squeak arms, for sure. Rip-Off Squeak arms would absolutely need to be the name, for sure. Anybody that doesn't have the frame already, there would need to be some modifications made to the top plate and the bottom plate. But that could just be like, I know CMYK is looking for a version 1 RipSqueak. Yeah, I don't know. That's another conversation. But good call, Danzilla Terrible. It's after 5. Let's wrap this up. Did we do everything? No, I didn't fly the Mosquito. All right, we gotta fly the Mosquito. I got some batteries charged. Let me get caught up on chat. We'll fly the Mosquito in the backyard, and then I'll get bit by mosquitoes, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Kevin Sumner says, I'd rather see Bill sell BQE to someone that maintains quality, maybe keeps him on as a designer, than clones pop up. Much easier said than done, unfortunately. Bill, realistically, to sell that company, he should ask for a lot of money. BQE is a company that has really good, like, credibility. And there's a lot of value in that, and I'm sure he has a ton of stock. Well, maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, and there tend to be not a lot of people in FPV that have enough money to kind of do that. I was offered to buy Rotorius way back when, and I mean, I didn't have any money at the time, and there was a big number, and that was a much smaller company than BQE. So it'd be really. Oh, we didn't sim either, says the Spanner. Oops. Real flying is more important than sim flying. Denzel the Terrible says, no, we got that. PJ says, I don't want the RipSqueak to die either. Yeah, I don't think any of us do. Apache Smoke says, I'm still waiting for the RipSqueak to get back in stock. I'd love to get an upgraded one. Denzel the Terrible says, I don't know how CiottiFPV, but I'm willing to learn. Spender says, we didn't see me there. somebody in chat knows 3D CAD stuff. Somebody will hear this and either message me or probably just message me. Let's fly this little guy, and I can talk to you live about what I do and don't like about it in terms of like flight characteristics. And we'll see if the tune is a little bit better here. So I'm going to run a Weebleed FPV BT 2.0 300 mAh battery through this first. I will say this. I like the Weebleed FPV stickers for the branding that they put on better than Tattoo and Tinywhoop.com, because it's one big sticker that's the whole length of it. So when you slide it into a tight set of battery holders, it doesn't peel the sticker off. The Tattoo and the Tinywhoop.com, it's one sticker on one side, one sticker on the other, so the stickers peel off when you put it into a tight... when you stick it into a tight hole, the stickers peel off. Let me get this room set up for whooping. Not really set up, but I want to open the garage door. Stand by. I'll be right back. Be right back. Coming back, I swear. Ooh, I can give you guys a tour of the drum set. This is exciting. Exciting times had by all. Let's try these goggles. Oh, I need a battery. Hold on. For the goggles. Okay. There we go. All right. No. I'm going to run the goggles with two CP antennas. That way my reception will be as close as possible to your reception. And these goggles are lighter. My other goggles with the Apache antenna, they have the HD0 thing hanging off the front, and good lord, is that heavy? Fuck. The Fat Sharks with an HD0 VRX on the front are not comfortable. I do not like wearing those. It's a lot of weight on the front of the goggle. If I dig into this HD0 thing, I'm gonna have to get their specific goggles for sure, which are not out yet. All right, so we got a transmitter. We need to get some BT 2.0 onto it. There it is. Denzel the Terrible says, "Go whoop the backyard and zoom Maggie." Unfortunately, she's not outside anymore. She's upstairs working. So I will leave her alone. I should have done this when she was outside blowing leaves. She could have blown this thing away. We're going to go VRX mic. Is it working? It's working. Let's get it plugged in. I'll go plop it outside, and you guys can take a look at how this little mosquito flies. Okay.
Low battery.
All right, here it goes. Oh, there was a little squirrel out there. So help me God, if I crash this in the kudzu, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. What? Why? Why so bad? Why so bad, reception? Oh, it's low power until first arm. Wow, that didn't make it any better. Hold on. Jesus, I can barely see. Hold on. Wow, rapid fire is 1,000 times better. Oh, it's on 5 million watts. Let's go up to 100. That should get better. Wow, not much better. Let me fly around. Tell me if it's unwatchable, friends. Oh wow, it's weird flying it in complete silence. Rapid fire is hanging in there, although it's not great. Admittedly. So, like, it's flyable. See that big shutter when I came down from that? Like, that's... These are pretty aggressive PIDs, and that's, like, happening an awful lot. Oh, man, I want to fly in there so bad, but I just can't crash this thing out here. It's going to be so hard to get back out of the weeds and whatnot. Let me go around the garage, and I can at least, maybe you guys will be able to see the drum set. I don't know how the reception is. But there it is! Look, it's just in the middle of nowhere. Absolutely in the middle of nowhere. God, don't hit the car. Here's a look at how hard it is to fly a non-ducted rig inside. It's doable, it's just not fun. This isn't fun. I can't hit my beautiful painted walls. Definitely doable, but it's so slidey. You can't do anything really super difficult.
20 seconds.
Battery life is not great either. Saw the low battery flashing there a second ago. Hopefully this is watchable for you guys. I hope so. Maggie not in there. She's probably in here. Can't quite see her. That's her desk. That's the little futon there. Maybe she's hanging out in there. I need a circular polarizing filter on this camera lens. Don't!
10,
I don't know where the scraggle is, and I can't really see it.
8.
Oh God, no! There's a branch. Yeah, I don't know. The battery life ain't great, isn't it? Aren't the batteries supposed to last longer on these little jib jabs? These are pretty small batteries. I know guys usually fly like 500 mAh, 450, 600 mAh batteries on them.
Reset.
Let's dive the house. Yeah, it's not terrible. It really isn't terrible. It's not bad. Maybe I'll put the Modulus 6 up in the air out here. See how that kind of compares. I don't know, this right here, this is just not the type of flying that I like to do. I like to do the big throws and the big three-dimensional shit, you know? Is that, chat, is that watchable or is it just absolutely awful? Be honest. Alright, so there's that little guy. Let's put a Modulus 6 up in the air out there. Let's put the ultimate freestyle Tinywhoop up in the air. And that'll be a fun little comparison. I have a couple of these batteries charged. Might as well roast them down before Whoop Wednesday. It wasn't good. It's pretty bad, 661 says. Ethan says it's okay. Well, let's compare. That is that's the Newbie Drone Acrobee board. Let's compare the VTX on the Newbie Drone board to the VTX on the Happy Model Modulus 6 ELRS board. And we'll see if it's any better. This is the rig with the singular. Oh, wow, it's so much better. And that's on low power. I haven't even armed it yet. Jesus, these are both on Nano 3s. So you can already tell the cruising speed is much lower. But here's the thing. You kind of want a slow cruising speed for this kind of stuff, for this kind of like in close really technical stuff. Oh, this is so much better. Why? I don't know. This won't do. It will do the big. See, it does that stuff. I mean, it's definitely not as fast. Whoa, boy. Okay, so there's a little bit of it. Either that's an ESC channel starting to go, or maybe it's just was running out of authority. But you can do some amazing. I don't know, man. I don't know about these little non-ducted guys versus just if you want. Oh no! Don't you dare! If you want to fly your garden, maybe just do it with a Modulus 6 ELRS. Because you'll be able to do stuff like this, which I absolutely could. I mean, I could have tried to do it with that Mosquito rig, but it would have been much more difficult. Yeah, this is much more fun. The rapid fire is starting to beep, so you guys are probably really struggling now. Come on, though. Like being able to slow down like that. That's not really gonna go well with something that's not ducted. I want to see my favorite person. Where's my favorite person? In there, I can't see her. I think she's probably in there. She works so hard, man. It's really like
7,
beautifully humbling.
6,
And like, look, you can do stuff. You can do like, this definitely won't fly as fast though. That's for sure. This will absolutely not fly as fast
1,
as the little Mosquito build. But I can go through the windows of my goddamn car with this, and I could probably fly inside, of my drum set with this, and that's really cool. This is my Yamaha Power V Special, the most cock rock drum set ever. Everything is huge. The toms are huge, very deep. Oh God. And then with this quad, I can come in here and rip mad balls. Oh! Look at all the balls I can rip with this. And I don't have to worry about like marking the walls up. Oh, I almost hit that on the first try. Let's go for it again. That's a new gate placement for this move. Oh! All right, we're low on batteries. It spins around perfectly. Yeah, so there's that. I don't know. The garden rippers are interesting. I just you're not gonna be able to like turtle mode them, and I don't know. Ethan says try the tiny lifter. That thing is hard to fly, man. It's it's good for the footage, but it's not good for like flying for fun. This is way more fun to fly. Let's do another battery on this same rig, because that's really fun being able to like go into the garage, go outside. I haven't flown this outside yet. This is oh, the video was great. Awesome. Wow. Yeah, so the Mobula 6 VTX is much better than the newbie drone. Let's make something happen here. Let's get this going. Let's fly through here, and then we're gonna fly through here. Oh no! I'm taking a walk, aren't I? No. Careful! Get out of there! No! Now I'm taking a walk. Oh no! All right, hold on. I'll be right back. God damn it! Damn you! Okay. All right, here we go. Where's that transmitter? There it is. All right. No. Don't. You're scratching the roof of the car, you jerk. Okay. Back into it. Focus. Oh, boy. Let's put it outside. It's cold outside. Cool that ESC right down. Can I fly around the whole house? Your video is going to go to absolute shit. What's mine going to do? Tell me ELRS will not let me fly around this entire house. Holy hell, that's ridiculous. I'm in here, guys. I'm in there. There I am. That's wild. That's like a little commercial for Express LRS right there. You know, fly around your house from your basement. And dive. Yeah, Mobula 6 with 30,000 KVO 702s. Come on, or 28,500. That's what you need in your life. This is the garden ripper right here. This is the garden ripper that's also the living room ripper. Oh God, it's like I did it on purpose. This is what you need. This is what you need in your life right here. Mobula 6 Express LRS. Fly in the front of your house. Fly around your house. Neighbors won't get mad. Spy on your girlfriend. Fly through the treehouse. No problems. It can do it all. Fly in your garage, through your car, around your car, through your drum set. You can do all the things. Fly around your hi-hat. Fly under your floor tom, in between the goddamn cymbal stands. Fly up your stairs, rip around your living room. Terrify your children, rip the stairs. Land on your ceiling fan blades. This is what you need in your life, my friends. Big power loops, come on. Go up on the second floor, tumble down. Whoa, God, almost crash. Do some orbits of your papasan chair. That orbit game needs work. And then come right back downstairs. Check out your yellow, blue, and pink longboard. Go back into your garage. Go through the car again. Oh! Fuck that. Limp it home with a low battery. Oh! Nope. Almost. I almost did everything that I said. How bad is the video in the front of the house? Friends, I'm sorry, but what? Let's go back to the Mosquito build. Let's go back to the Mosquito build. Last battery, we're gonna go back to the Mosquito build. Oh, Brandon's Baked Beans, good call. He says change the font to get the LQ logo. I heard about that a while ago. I completely forgot about it though. My battery's crying. Yeah, it's true. I'm actually gonna put it on the charger so it's not on fire any longer. That was a Weebleed FPV battery. I really have abused them, and they've held up really, really well. Okay, so we've got flat spot to the right, and all right. So I apologize for your eyes. They're gonna now bleed from the crappier VTX on this rig from the Newbie Drone AIO, but you'll be all right. We're just looking at flight dynamics. I guess I really need to build a Mobula 6 based Garden Ripper. But I don't know. I don't think I need more performance than what I just had. I think if for some reason I want to fly a tiny rig outside, it's going to be a Mobula 6 ELRS. Like that was pretty awesome. That's pretty fan. Oh God, it's like AIDS. This camera. And VTX. Jesus, it is a lot faster. Okay, yeah. I mean, it is unquestionably a lot faster. Oh, no! Good. I didn't hit the car. I just wanted to not hit the car. Oh, boy. So that's the pressure washer. Stop it! It's jammed, so I gotta go get it. Hold on. Well, there's the first crash. Everything seems okay. Hey, also, this does not have a singularity antenna. This has a pretty horrible antenna on it. Seems to have held up fine from the crash. Let's fly a little bit more. All right, here we go. Yeah, I mean, it's so much faster. It's also so much more slidey, though. Like, and there's gonna be much less of a chance of this taking back off without the prop guards and the ducts. It's slidey enough for like, I'm gonna have a hard. Oh God. Oh, okay. I didn't do that. I didn't go under on purpose there. That's just sort of where it went. Let's play around with the tune a little bit here. Oh, let's see that big bounce back. Wait till you see what the PID gains are. Let's try again. Pitch is good. It's good on pitch. That's cool. Yeah, pitch is great. All right, let's give it some more roll authority. Oh, Jesus Christ. I was trying to land on that tape. Oh, no. Here we go. Yeah, see, this is... I'm pretty sure that the whoop, I would have been able to just take it right back, or at least turtle mode it back over. Maybe I have really high expectations because of how good the whoops fly. Maybe that's what's going on here. Look at these PIDs though. Profile, simplified tuning. Look at the master multiplier. It's all the way up at 2.0. So we got... I'm actually going to turn the pitch down. And then I'm going to move the total amount of D gains up to 1.8, and then the P and I gains up to 1.5. So that, in effect, basically gave me more roll authority and the same amount of pitch authority. So let's try it now. Still a little bit of... Oh boy, that was not great. That was... I did not do that. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I think I might have just exploded. That's gonna be hard to find, I guess. Hold on. That was weird. It just dropped him. It just dropped an arm. Just fell out of the air. Oh man, that's in there. I gotta put shoes on. Hold on. God damn it! This is exactly what I didn't want to happen. Hang on, god damn it. Alright. Let's see if I can find it. Alright, wasn't hard to find. Thank God for beepers. Alright, let me fly the rest of this battery. I don't know, man. Maybe it is, I don't think it's a fair comparison for this to be newbie drone and then all the whoops or mobula stuff. But I mean, I'm not focusing on that. I'm just focusing on like the flight dynamics and the slidiness. I just don't get it. If you have to fly something super quiet and the 3-inch toothpick is too noisy, I get it. But I don't see how that could be. I don't see how people could get mad about a 3-inch toothpick. This is just too fast for out. Oh, yes! Oh, no. Yes! Awesome. So every once in a while it will crash in a way that you can take it back off. So it's not 100% of the time. But, yeah, I don't know. They are cheap enough where it's kind of just like, well, whatever. Build one just to have it. But I try not to do that. I try not to just build stuff just for the sake of building it. Try to build stuff that flies really well for the usage, you know. Yeah, I don't know what the 2.5-inch frame is really going to do for this, but To be fair, I do kind of have to find out. I don't have to, but I have it, so I might as well. And it'll be 10 minutes of work to move this over into a 2.5-inch frame. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little disappointed that that this doesn't. I don't know. So many of you guys were like, "Oh, you got to do the Garden River build. It's the greatest thing ever." I'm just not. I'm just missing something. More enough shots is nice pants. Thank you. Cole Power says, "Tape the dog door open and fly through that to get back inside." That's a good idea. So yeah, it's. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Like, I believe you guys. I believe that you guys like it, but maybe it's just not for me. And that's fine. It's okay for things to not be for me. That is okay. Is that battery charging? There you guys go. There's a little bit of Garden Ripper flying. I am gonna bail on the sim stuff because it is almost 6 o'clock now. And I got some stuff to do around here, and I want to go squeeze my favorite person in the world. Let me get caught up on chat, and then we will wrap this thing up. Tommy News says you should put the doggy door on a switch. That doggy door is a hot mess, man. There's a big piece of metal closing it up on this side. It's all like deteriorated, and it's like a very weird sized doggy door. I can't find a doggy door that's the same size. That door is also kind of a mess, so I think I'm just going to replace that entire door. Ethan W says try the tiny lifter. Horrible comparison to HDLO. 661 says pro tip, increase the CPU temp warning limit in the CLI. I think mine's at 76. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know you could do that. Brandon's Baked Bean says flash an OSD font to update the fonts to get the low Q icon. Also says demonstrate to the viewers how to fix that. Sixth thing. Good idea. It was going on in this one, right? So changing your font is super simple. So simple that I'm willing to do it right now, even though I'm trying to wrap the stream up. That's just how easy it is. So you plug in, you wait for Betaflight to launch. Betaflight's been taking forever to launch for some reason. And I think this is how you fix it. You just come in here to OSD, and then your font is up here. Preview for OSD Profile 1 font default. You come up here and you just change to any old other font. And you hit save, and then that sends that font onto the AIO itself. And then if you don't want that font, you can just go back to the other one. I kind of like this large, I think. No, that's the one that makes the numbers large. There's one that I like. Is it digital? No, that's certainly not it. Man, there was one that I used to like. Was it Clarity? No. Extra large? Is that it? Maybe there's not one that I like. What about bold? Nah, let's go back to default. Yeah, default's fine. And then resave on the default, and that should have the... well, we can check it because this is powered by... And there you go. Is that the different LQ font? The little bracket now? Did it change? I don't even know. I remember somebody talking about that, which is the only reason I recognized it. And yeah, there you go. And I think it'll stick between the profiles, right? Let's see. VRX mic. And now let's go to profile 3. I should shut that stuff off, yeah. So it does correct these profiles live. That's pretty cool. So there you go. I think that's how you fix it. I think you just have to change the font and hit save. And that takes care of it. Good call, Brandon. Cole Power says front of the house is technically watchable. It wasn't great in the goggles either, in fairness. Cole Power says also switch cameras when the battery is pulled, please. Cole Power says tape the dog door open. We got that. Morton Upshot, nice pants. Danzo the Terrible says nice jammy pants. You got to be comfortable, man. If you're going to not make any money being a freelancer, you got to at least be comfortable all day, every day. Brandon's Big Bean says you got to go to font manager at the bottom. What you showed is just a preview. Plug in a battery, go to font manager, and upload one from there. What? What? What kind of nonsense is that? Hold on. Remy Tim likes the Vision font. Oh, right. Font Manager opens up the different window. Haveboard says font, they may need to download it first from a different pop-up. Hold on, let's see real quick. I haven't played around with the fonts in a hot minute. So there's the Font Manager here. I didn't need to scroll. That's right. At some point they changed it so that you could only change the fonts like this. So here, let me put on this and we'll see if will it change live? So custom font. Impact Mini. Let's try that. Upload font. Uploading. All right, so the OSD is now flickering. Oh, look at that. There it goes. It's starting to go. Starting to go. All right, done uploading. Look at that, an unreadable font. And there's the little different LQ thing. So let's go back into OSD. We're going to go to Font Manager, and then we're going to go to the default font, and we're going to upload the default font. And I think that will now give us the proper logo. I've never tried to upload like a rando font to this. Yeah, look at that. Now we got the little tiny LQ logo. Very cool. Although, man, that is like not super readable now all of a sudden. I feel like it was way more readable before. Ooh, God, why does it look like such ass? Hold on. OSD. Bold. This only changes the preview. That's super annoying. Is it less readable now? Maybe just because I'm looking at the screen rather than through my goggles. Font Manager, open font file. I've downloaded a couple of fonts recently, but then I install them and I get them out of here. Let me not play this game of farting around with fonts. Hold on. Let me look at it through the goggles. See if it's readable. Oh yeah, it's fine. It's normal in the goggles. So there you go. All you got to do is upload font, change your. I guess you could have probably. I could have probably just left it on default and hit upload font, and it would have been good to go. I bet you that would have been fine. Good call, fellas. Good call. Okay. Clarity is the happy model default, PJ says. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Morton Upshot says, I learned something today. JB is going to sue you now. Brandon McBean says, Clarity. I used to run Clarity. For some reason, the default one being a little smaller, I don't know. It's less obnoxious when I leave it on during the streams. Whatever. Whatever you like, you run that one. All right, people. Thank you for hanging out. CiottiFPV.com has a million ways that you can support me, and I need your support. I am totally crowdfunded by you beautiful people. So click thumbs up in here. Head on over to my website, CiottiFPV.com. Click all the buttons. Hey, who's going to join Patreon today? Don't break the streak. We did have 2 people join Patreon on Friday, so I guess maybe we can say, hey, one of those people also sort of joined here today. But if you're not a patron, don't break the streak. We've had a streak of a new patron every single live stream for the last week, and it's only 10 cents a day. And the amount of benefits you get far outweighs the $3 whole you'll spend a month. So somebody join my Patreon right now, or else I'm going to throw a fucking folding chair through this monitor, and then I won't be able to stream anymore. So you don't want to do that, do you? You don't want to ruin the stream for everyone. Love you guys. Buy a sticker, do something. Buy a t-shirt, treat yourself. Hey, I've got Tinywhoop motor screws. I've got lots of them. Let me know if you need some, and I'll send them to you for the price of shipping. I also have some T-Motor 0803 25,000 kVs for sale. You have to direct solder them, though. Hit me up if you want them. I'll explain. It's snowing. Only on my shoulders. Love you guys. Be good. Have fun. I'll see you. What's today? Sunday? I'll see you tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Here's some flying. Here's some more of the 3-inch rig at that spot. And oh, here's the battery where I got all nasty up in those trees. Okay. Yeah, look at the full attack on me. This is it. I got up in there in the wall and then dropped it down and threw it back over and didn't get it stuck in the tree this time. Or did I? Oh, there it is. All right, I'm going to give you guys just this good bit. Let me turn it down a little bit. And let's get some epidemic sounds going. And you're going to love my nuts. Later, friends. Be good.